Chapter 417. Sitting in the chair, Luo Feng poured himself a cup of tea. As the tea flowed into the cup, his mind was filled with many thoughts. Babada is right. My current strength is indeed far from the absolute geniuses. To make it into the universe's top 1,000, it's very difficult. My movement, spirit weapon control, battle experience, willpower, mental state may not be bad, but compared to the universe's absolute geniuses, it's still not the best. A few powerful warriors like my teacher, like Luo, when they reach the later stages, they all create their own techniques. Of course, no matter what, I have to do it step by step. I have to first learn the techniques created by the predecessors, then slowly create my own. And right now, I'm just at the beginning. With a group of sheep, even if I become the strongest, I'll still be a slightly stronger sheep. And with a group of lions, even if I'm not the strongest, I'll still be a valiant lion. I have to enter the virtual universe company's core. I'm weak. However, the main reason is that my training time is too short. The duration of this genius battle is very long. I still have time to improve. Luo Feng pondered, his eyebrows creased. The universe, humanity's absolute leviathan, the virtual universe company's core, every 10,000 years absorbed 1,000 absolute geniuses, accumulating over generations, resulting in millions of absolute geniuses. And after countless years of accumulation, the undyings there would far exceed the Ganwu universe country. That was the most dazzling pinnacle of power. If I want to fight, I'll fight the strongest group of geniuses. My training time is short. As time drags on, I'll catch up to them. Work hard. Work hard. Right now, my first goal is to first get one of the Ganwu universe country's 1,000 slots. Luo Feng made his decision, not saying much to Babada. Ever since he was young, Luo Feng had never admitted defeat. Even against the incomparably strong, seemingly invincible golden horned beast back then, Luo Feng never lowered his head. If one said his younger brother Luo Hua loved to battle in the universe financial market, time and time again, fighting and killing, stealing wealth. Then Luo Feng loved to chase after the pinnacle of life, constantly breaking through himself, improving himself time and time again, defeating his opponents. There were difficulties, setbacks, competition, opponents. He wasn't afraid. The only thing he was afraid of was that there weren't any difficulties. When he really stood at the pinnacle with no opponents, he would be very lonely. Experts are lonely. Back on Earth, Luo Feng had a taste of that. He didn't like the feeling of loneliness. Let's go. Let's see how far Luo Feng can go. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. There was a strong thirst for the path of the strong. The arena battles continued for a total of 5 days. After the battles, the 10,000 participants that passed were given a day of rest. During this day of rest, the organizer Virtual Universe Company would also inform every participant of the upcoming battles. China time, July 22nd, 2066. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-Star Bay District, Luo Feng's living room. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, and a dozen others gathered together. How are the duels decided? Brother-in-law, who are you going to fight in your first battle? 900 slots, 10,000 people fighting for it. How are they going to compete? A group of people began to discuss. Quiet. Luo Feng pointed ahead in midair. Immediately, a large screen appeared above the dining table. On it was a list filled with words. This is the list of the 10,000 participants' arena battles. Oh, the words are too small. The whole family ran over to take a look. Zoom in. Luo Feng pointed at the corner of the screen. Immediately, the list zoomed in. There was Luo Feng's name. Big brother, you gonna fight Sai Weilo first? After winning one, you'll fight the winner of the next group again? Luo Hua looked carefully. Luo Feng nodded. Looking at the surrounding group, there was his brother-in-law Su Gang and the others, Hong's son and daughter's family, Thunder God's daughter, and of course Luo Feng's own family. With such a large group of people gathered, it was indeed bustling. This arena battles, the process is very simple. 1 against 1. The winner will continue to advance. The loser will be sent to the loser group. These 10,000 people will be paired in pairs. forming 5,000 pairs. After the first battle, 5,000 victors will emerge. As for the 5,000 losers, they will be sent to the loser group. Those 5,000 victors will continue to pair up. After the second battle, there will be 2,500 victors left. Continue. After the third battle, there will be 1,250 victors left. After the fourth battle, there will be 625 victors left. After the fourth battle, the 625 victors will obtain 625 of the 900 slots. Luo Feng said. The rules were simple. Pair up. They would only need to go through the fourth battle. Then, there would only be 625 left. I say, brother-in-law, these 900 slots, after taking out 625, wouldn't there still be 275 left? Su Gang asked suspiciously. Beside him, Luo Hua laughed. Su Gang, didn't you notice what my big brother said before? The losers will be sent to the loser group. I estimate these 275 slots will belong to the loser group. Beside, Thunder God laughed. Right, Luo Hua is smart. You have to know, these pairs of pairs will determine the winner very quickly. However, there's a huge loophole. That is, there's a high possibility of two absolute warriors battling. One of them has to be eliminated. This way it's easy to miss out on geniuses. Luo Feng nodded. Hence there's the loser group. 10,000 people, of which 625 are the victors. Then the loser group will have 9,375 people. These 9,375 people will go through a cruel and long losers round of battles, picking out the final 275 slots. Luo Feng said, Cruel and long losers round of battles? How cruel? Long? How long will it take? The group looked at Luo Feng. The losers round of battles refers to the 9,375 people in the loser group. Every one of them will have to fight the other 9,374 people one-on-one, which means the 9,375 people in the loser group, every one of them will have to fight 9,374 battles. If they win, they get 1 point. If they lose, or if they both die, they get 0 points. Finally, they'll be ranked according to their points. The top 275 will get the final 275 slots. Luo Feng said, My God? Su Gang stared wide-eyed. Wow! Little Hai exclaimed, 9,374 battles? How long will that take? Right, how long will it take? These 9,000 battles, it'll definitely take a very, very long time. The group exclaimed, One must know that during the life and death battles, if one were to continuously fight, one's entire body's energy and spirit would be exhausted. One's strength would begin to drop. Hence, even though each life and death battle took up a short amount of time, one couldn't possibly have too many battles a day. The Virtual Universe Company has announced that the losers round of battles, everyone will have to fight 10 battles a day. It'll probably last close to 3 years. Luo Feng said, The entire genius battle, the Ganwu Universe country selection battles, the one that takes the longest is the losers round of battles. Close to 3 years? That's long enough. The arena battles were very fast. Every battle would eliminate half the people. One only needed to win 4 battles, and they would get the slots. 9-Star Bay, Luo Feng's villa balcony, late at night. Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God sat at a round table. Third brother, your situation isn't good. Hong emphasized. Of these 10,000 participants, there are only 521 who have stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. After the 4 arena battles, only 625 will be chosen. According to logic, these 521 should all get the slots. Thunder God muttered, However, this Virtual Universe Company, how do they divide them? They actually let the origin laws geniuses meet? Right? Even though, according to the recordings of the arena battles, there were only 521 who had stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. If the Virtual Universe Company distributed it well, they could let these 521 people not meet. They would all get a slot. However, the Virtual Universe Company didn't do that. Most of the Origin Laws warriors didn't need to meet other Origin Laws warriors after the 4 battles. However, there was still a small portion of close to 100 who would meet each other, like Luo Feng himself. According to the distribution, Luo Feng had confidence in the first, second, and third battles. However, the fourth battle. According to the list, Luo Feng could deduce that as long as that origin law genius didn't fall midway, then his opponent in the fourth battle would be someone else who had stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. His name was Rong Jun, and his nickname was Savage. Savage Rong Jun, the absolute warrior who killed his second brother Thunder God back then, a monster who had once swept through the arena battles. According to this distribution, there will be close to 100 Origin Laws warriors who will meet in the fourth battle. Hong nodded, and these close to 100 people are all the most valiant in the arena battles. No matter if it was Savage Rong Jun or Madman Luo Feng, they were both unstoppable in their arena battles. In terms of strength, these close to 100 people should belong to the upper echelons of the Origin Laws. Hong emphasized, right now, the Virtual Universe Company is letting them meet to test them, and the losers still have a chance to go through the losers' matches. The number of Origin Laws warriors that enter the losers' matches is less than 50, and there will be 275 slots for the losers. Even if these Origin Laws warriors lose the fourth battle, through the losers' matches, they can still get a slot. From the Virtual Universe Company's point of view, it should be to test these people. The pinnacle of head-on clashes, the losers' matches, the 9,374 battles, they all have training effects. Hong said. Luo Feng and Thunder God nodded. That made sense. The Virtual Universe Company organized this to select the most elite geniuses. Hence, beating up the most outstanding ones was a very normal phenomenon. Third brother. Hong emphasized Luo Feng. From the first to the third battle, you have no problems at all. Right now, your only opponent is Savage Rong Jun, whom you will meet in the fourth battle. I have seen his strength with my own eyes. It is very, very terrifying. He's much stronger than your group's Pushkin. I've exchanged blows with him before. I was finished in one move. Thunder God said, he's very strong, especially that blade slash. It's extremely heavy. I know. Luo Feng nodded. If he wanted to get a slot earlier, he had to defeat that Savage. In Savage's arena battles, he had watched from the dojo. He was indeed ridiculously strong. Who asked you to be too strong? Thunder God smiled. Because you were too strong, killing the other geniuses in the group battles was like killing dogs. The Virtual Universe Company values you. Hence they arranged for Savage to fight you. To let the strong fight. P.S. Chapter 1 here. Chapter 418. China Time Year 2066, July 23rd. Within the Virtual Universe, within the Battle Axe Coliseum space, on island number 29904, a genius battle was about to begin. Attention all, the one standing in the arena right now is the genius from the Dragon Horn Star Field, Saiwelo. As the loud and sonorous voice reverberated throughout the entire arena, the spectator seats in the arena immediately burst into thunderous cheers. The hundreds of millions of spectators from the Dragon Horn Star area were so excited that they roared and screamed in excitement. Saiwelo! Saiwelo! You're the strongest! Over 100 million people were cheering excitedly. Both sides of the arena battle starfields were able to receive 100 million tickets. Hence, out of the 1 billion spectators today, 200 million of them were from the Dragon Horn Star Field and the Black Dragon Mountain Star Field. Next up is the one everyone has been waiting for, the absolute genius from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, Luo Feng. The commentator's voice was even louder than before. Obviously, the commentator's attitude was obviously biased towards Luo Feng. Luo Feng, Luo Feng, Luo Feng. Not only were the over 100 million people from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire cheering excitedly, the other 800 million spectators from the other starfield from the Ganwu Universe country were also cheering Luo Feng's name. Even though they both went through the arena battles, it was obvious that Luo Feng, who had swept his own group, had won the love of many people from the Ganwu Universe country. Under the gazes of 1 trillion people, following the same pathway, Luo Feng too entered the arena within the arena. The cheers immediately grew louder. Countless human girls from all races were incomparably excited. Some even fainted from shouts. This was the effect of 100% virtual reality. Even the physiology was completely simulated. There were only two youths standing in the arena. One was carrying a dark golden long rod on his back and dressed in a dark gray armor, the black-haired youth Luo Feng, and the other was standing on a huge platform with a gentle smile on his face and a gentle aura, Sai Weiluo. Luo Feng, please advise me. Sai Weiluo courteously bowed, expressing his politeness. Luo Feng stood there, silent like a dormant volcano, with no reaction at all, not knowing why. Even though Sai Weiluo was courteous, Luo Feng felt a sense of disgust. As for why, Luo Feng couldn't explain it. You too. The tall and burly commentator, who was dressed handsomely, smiled and said, "It's very similar to the arena group battle. As the battle progresses, your fighting space will continue to shrink. In just 5 minutes, the combat space would shrink to a diameter of 1 meter. Therefore, each of your battles can only last 5 minutes at most." "Thank you." Severo smiled at the commentator. Luo Feng only responded, "All right then, let the battle begin," said the commentator with a smile. As soon as he said begin, his entire being dissipated, leaving only 2 opponents in the ring. Whoosh! Sevelo stepped on a giant pedal and quickly flew into the distance, as fast as lightning. "Hi!" Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. He stepped on the soaring shuttle and immediately became a golden light, obviously faster than Sai Weiluo. The battle space originally had a diameter of 30 kilometers, but as time passed, it continued to shrink. And with Luo Feng and Sai Weiluo's speed, they almost instantly reached the edge of the battle space. This is the moment. Sai Weiluo felt that the distance between the two of them was very close. He fiercely turned, simultaneously decreasing his speed, causing the swiftly charging Luo Feng to be very close to him. Sai Weiluo's eyes were filled with madness. "Go! Kill him!" The huge pedal beneath him simultaneously shot out a silver light. This silver light revolved around the green energy flow around his body. The silver light automatically split into 9 silver arrows and shot at Luo Feng. Xiao! 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 9 silver arrows, almost like 9 shooting stars shooting at Luo Feng. Even though the Nan Shun armament is powerful, it has a weakness. Sai Weiluo's eyes were filled with intense desire, a desire for victory. That is its defense. Its defense is its weakness. His strength is average, and he still dares to split it into 9 attacks. Luo Feng snorted coldly. He really thinks I have no defense. Luo Feng's thoughts moved. The soaring shuttle under his feet suddenly emitted beams of light, which quickly combined into 16 strange shields. Each of the 16 shields was connected with a golden thread. Among the 16 shields, 8 of them were on the outside, while the other 8 were on the inside. The shields rotated at the same time with different speeds. All of them followed a strange pattern. This move, Sword Array, the soaring shuttle's second form defense move. Sword Array. The soaring shuttle had a total of 3 forms. The first form, attack, was the mountain drill, defense was the mountain shield. The second form, attack, was the swordfish formation, defense was the sword array. As for the third form, one had to reach the universe level to use it. Hence, if Luo Feng wanted to use the soaring shuttle, he would at most use the swordfish formation and the sword array. 8 shields floated around his body, and 8 more floated around the outer layer of the shield. The inner and outer shields revolved around his body, slightly moving up and down, intertwining with each other in a golden color. A strange energy emanated. Infused with Luo Feng's understanding of the gold origin laws, the defense was simply perfect. When the 9 silver meteors shot over, the 16 shields rotated slightly, and there was no longer any space to block. Dang, dang, dang. A series of clashing sounds. The 9 arrows weren't that strong. They couldn't even shake the defense of the 16 shields. Actually, normal spirit weapons wouldn't be as versatile as the soaring shuttle. Under normal circumstances, the stronger the spirit weapon, the more specialized it would be. Purely offensive spirit weapons. Purely defensive. Purely flying. Gold. extremely strong and unyielding. This Nanshun armament was naturally a pure offensive spirit weapon, incomparably tyrannical. Attack. Condensing it would make it strong, splitting it would make it weak. And this Sai Weilo knew he couldn't beat Luo Feng. Hence he gambled that Luo Feng didn't bring any defensive spirit weapons. Hence he controlled the 9 arrows simultaneously. Actually controlling the 9 arrows separately, splitting his consciousness into 9 parts, the power would be weaker. He specialized in gambling, fighting for a chance of survival. Against the 9 arrows, Luo Feng could at most block 2 or 3 with the illusion blade form. That way, Sai Weilo would have a chance of victory. It was a pity Luo Feng had a defensive spirit weapon. That was the soaring shuttle. The soaring shuttle was capable of flight, defense, and offense under special circumstances. As Luo Feng had been studying it, hence using the soaring shuttle's defensive form, the sword array was the wisest choice now. Maybe there were better defensive spirit weapons. However, Luo Feng didn't have enough time to study them. It's over. Sai Weilo's expression changed greatly. Chi. The golden illusion blade became a golden rainbow light, immediately smashing into his spirit weapon and piercing through his head. First battle, Luo Feng won. 2 ND battle. Luo Feng, I know I'm not your match. However, I still want to spar with you. Luo Feng's second opponent, the moment he stepped up, he admitted he wasn't Luo Feng's match. Very quickly, second battle, Luo Feng easily won again. 3 RD battle. The third opponent was extremely strong, comparable to Pushkin. Especially the huge axe, its power was shocking. However, against the 9 arrows before, Luo Feng's illusion blade form couldn't do anything. However, against the huge axe, Luo Feng could easily control the golden illusion blade to block it head-on. Stepping on the soaring shuttle from afar, controlling the golden illusion blade from afar, with just 6 attacks, the huge axe-wielding tall and sturdy man's arms were shattered, spitting out fresh blood. Naturally, he had no way to retaliate. Third battle, Luo Feng won again. 3 battles, 3 wins. Black Dragon Mountain, Island 9-Star Bay District, Luo Feng's house entrance. Luo Feng and the silver-haired old man, Buddha Asaka, sat opposite each other. 3 battles, 3 wins. Right now, the entire Black Dragon Mountain Island is talking about you. The silver-haired old man smiled. In this virtual universe network, many entertainment programs, news programs are all paying attention to you. Luo Feng smiled. Sitting at home, he could hear the cheers of the people drinking and causing trouble outside the district. These were all because of Luo Feng's victories. They were all excitedly drinking and celebrating. Lord Buddha Asaka, you didn't come here just to talk about these things, right? Luo Feng smiled at the silver-haired old man. I came with His Majesty's words. The silver-haired old man looked at Luo Feng. Tomorrow's 4th battle. As long as you win it, you'll get a slot. His Majesty hopes that you prepare well. Don't get careless. Your opponent is very strong. I know. Luo Feng nodded. In his mind appeared the image of his opponent. That messy hair, barefoot savage youth. Defeat him. Luo Feng thought within. Within the Ganwu universe country, within a vast starfield, a disc-shaped D6 grade ship was parked on a mineral planet's moon. Within a resting cabin within the D6 grade ship, a robust male who was more than 3 meters tall, his hair still disheveled and his feet bare, was currently sitting on the alloy floor of the resting cabin with that short blade on his back. He currently had his head raised, silently looking at a photo hanging on the wall. It was a photo of a tanned, robust youngster and a tall and sturdy man with their arms around each other's shoulders. Father, this savage youth quietly looked at the picture, muttering, "Even though you aren't my father by blood, but..." The savage youth gritted his teeth, saying softly, "I too, man, swear. I will definitely kill that bastard. Definitely." His eyes emitted a cold light that made people's hearts palpitate, as if he was a hungry and crazy lone wolf. He's an undying. He's the emperor that created the empire, but I will definitely kill him. Father, just watch. I will rush into the universe's top 1,000 in the genius battle. enter the Virtual Universe Company. Even within the same generation of the Virtual Universe Company, I will become the strongest. The savage said in a low voice. The day I kill him will be the day the name 2-Man is restored. P.S. 2 chapters completed. Tomorrow is Saturday. I didn't even spend time with my wife during Lantern Festival. I'll be spending time with her tomorrow. Right, today's late, hence tomorrow is Saturday. Tomato will work hard to update a chapter. As for the rest of the time, I'll give it to my wife, at the same time pulling down the monthly votes just a little bit more, and I'll be in the top 3. Chapter 419. It's Madman. That madman is here. Quickly flee. Chi. On the screen, the dark gray armored black short-haired youth walked coldly on the streets. A golden fish wantonly slaughtered a group of geniuses. Bodies flew and fresh blood dyed the quiet streets red. During the elimination battles, the scenes of Luo Feng's slaughter continued to be broadcasted. He is the absolute genius that countless geniuses call Madman. Luo Feng. He has always been hiding his strength. Entering the arena battles, he finally used his true weapon, Nan Shun armament, sweeping his way through undefeatable. Savage. I admit I'm not your match. I don't want to battle you. Even if you don't want to, you have to. A thick, powerful voice resounded. One could only see the barefooted, 3M tall savage immediately close in. The seemingly light blade in his hand, however, seemed to have mountains within it, immediately cutting through the opponent's defenses and killing him. Savage Rong Jun's slaughter scenes continued to be broadcasted. Just with his aura alone, he instills fear in countless warriors, the absolute genius known as Savage. Rong Jun. From the elimination battles to the arena battles wielding one battle blade, killing all his targets. Till now, no one has been able to stop him. The two of them, Madman Luo Feng and Savage Rong Jun. In the 4th round of the arena battles, Island number 0001, they are about to engage in a pinnacle battle. One madman, one savage. Who's stronger? Will the madman sweep through the savage, or will the savage kill the madman? Please wait for the 4th round of the arena battles, their pinnacle battle. A promotional video that was about 15 minutes long appeared on the front page of the Virtual Universe Company's Ganwu website. Only the Virtual Universe Company itself was able to obtain a video of the elimination battles. The moment this video was released, it immediately caused countless people in the Ganwu universe to download it, swiftly spreading throughout the entire universe country. Uproar. Countless people from the Ganwu universe country rushed to buy tickets for this battle. Even though there were many battles in the 4th round of the arena battles, what people were really anticipating was the 49 battles. These 49 battles were all absolute geniuses that had stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. And in terms of aura, Madman Luo Feng and Savage Rong Jun were the top. The battle between the two of them was arranged on Island 00001, and the ticket was also the most expensive. But the number of people who wanted to buy tickets for this battle was also the highest. Especially when the promotional video was released, the nicknames Madman and Savage immediately spread across billions of galaxies, and countless people were looking forward to this battle. The time had finally arrived. It was July 26th, Huaxia year 2066. Within the virtual universe, within the Battle Axe Coliseum space, on Island 00001, a battle between absolute geniuses was about to begin. The two battling were Madman Luo Feng and Savage Rong Jun. Madman. Barbarians. Luo Feng. Rong Jun. The 1 billion seats in the arena were filled to the brim. The battle had yet to begin, but the promotional video played on the large screen in the center of the arena caused countless spectators to cheer excitedly for the person they admired. Especially for the Black Dragon Mountain Empire and the Golden Sword Empire. The spectators were extremely proud of their empire. At the same time, within the preparation hall of the Colosseum, Luo Feng was still dressed in his dark gray armor, carrying the dark golden long rod on his back as he appeared in the preparation hall. There were only 2 seats in this hall, and the attendant beside said passionately, "Mr. Luo Feng, please rest here. The battle is about to begin." Nodding, Luo Feng immediately walked to his seat and sat down. He could clearly hear the tsunami like cheers from the Colosseum. Who? A silhouette suddenly appeared. Luo Feng opened his eyes and looked. It was a tall and sturdy man, still barefooted, his hair messy. However, just standing there, he had a formless aura, almost like he was the land and skies. That natural and overbearing aura made Luo Feng crease his eyebrows. When I saw him before, I was watching from afar in the Colosseum, and watching the videos, I didn't expect him to be so strong face to face. His aura, to a certain degree, reflects his personality. Living beings all had auras. If one's aura became incomparably strong, allowing others to easily feel it, then it could be called an aura. Aura was a very broad term. For example, among the normal people of Earth, a skinny and weak person meeting a tall and sturdy fierce bandit would be able to feel the pressure from the bandit. Strong willpower, firm willpower, powerful strength, etc. would all produce an aura. Just like Luo Feng, right now, when he was training in the wilderness of Earth, the pressure he emitted was something that even the strongest beasts wouldn't dare approach. Mr. Rongjun, please rest here. The battle is about to begin. The attendant went to welcome him. Savage immediately sat in the seat opposite Luo Feng. The two sat facing each other. Savage's tiger eyes were wide open, almost as though two beams of lightning were shooting out, making people not dare to look at him. And Luo Feng sat there like a dormant volcano, silent, cold, filled with killing intent, making people not dare to easily touch him. You are Luo Feng? Madman Luo Feng? Savage's voice was thick and powerful. Luo Feng, who was sitting coldly with his eyes closed, suddenly opened his eyes and looked at Savage. If someone were to compare Luo Feng and the Golden Horn Beast, they would realize that Luo Feng's gaze was almost exactly the same as the Golden Horn Beast, cold and filled with killing intent. Savage was shocked within. This madman, his killing intent is so heavy. What's the matter? Luo Feng said. Yes. Savage nodded, staring at Luo Feng. The losers' circle battles. I'm very interested. The 9,374 losers' circle battles. These high-density battles are very useful for my training. I will definitely participate. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. This savage Rongjun said he wanted to participate in the losers' circle battles. What did he mean? You want to admit defeat? Luo Feng looked at Savage. No. Savage stared at Luo Feng. I've never thought of admitting defeat. However, I will first defeat you, and then commit suicide to participate in the losers' circle battles. Defeat me, and then commit suicide? Luo Feng squinted. That spot isn't difficult for me at all. Savage grinned. His entire being was filled with a strong battle intent. What I need is battle, battle after battle. I need to temper myself and improve myself. Hence, Luo Feng, I hope you don't disappoint me. Don't be defeated in an instant. Within the preparation hall, Luo Feng closed his eyes again, saying coldly, Relax, I will immediately kill you and send you to participate in the losers' circle battles. I'm looking forward to it. Savage grinned. Luo Feng, who was sitting coldly with his eyes closed, revealed a smile at the corners of his lips. With just a few simple words, Luo Feng and Rongjun had a good impression of each other. The two of them were the same type of people, absolute confidence, not easily admitting defeat, unforgiving people. Fight! Fight! Luo Feng and Rongjun could feel each other's intense battle intent and absolute confidence. Mr. Luo Feng, Mr. Rongjun, please head to the pathway and prepare. We're about to enter the dojo. The attendant came over and said carefully. Luo Feng and Savage stood up at the same time. The two exchanged glances, feeling the raging battle intent in each other's eyes, following which they headed towards the pathway. The dojo was filled to the brim, almost like a sea of people. The people from over 100 million galaxies of different races all cheered loudly. Madman Luo Feng from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, Savage Rongjun from the Golden Sword Empire, The two of them are walking over together. The commentator was a man, his voice resounding. Madman, madman, savage, savage. The spectators from over 100 million galaxies all cheered excitedly. Compared to his real name, it was this nickname that countless people swiftly accepted. Within the arena, Luo Feng and Rong Jun stared at each other. The rules of the arena battles, the two of you should know. The commentator looked at the two. This battle will decide the final placings. The victor of the two will get a spot, and the loser will have to enter the loser's bracket and undergo the long loser circle battles. The two of you should understand, right? Then now the battle begins. With a low roar, his voice reverberated throughout the entire arena. The commentator disappeared in an instant, and the 1 billion spectators in the arena fell silent. Everyone stared at the enlarged images of the two people in the arena. The moment they heard the word begin, Madman Luo Feng and Savage Rong Jun, who had been controlling themselves almost simultaneously, exploded with their auras. The strong normally kept their auras hidden, just like how Luo Feng lived with his family. How could he casually explode with killing auras? And like a sector lord, even if they kept their auras hidden, with just a gaze infused with some willpower pressure, it would cause a star-level opponent's soul to be unable to withstand it and crumble. Battle. One was the conviction and willpower to fight, using one's strong aura to directly pressure the opponent to the point of fear affecting the opponent. This was of course beneficial to one's battle, whether it was Rong Jun or Luo Feng. They had never met such a strong opponent before, hence the two released their auras at the same time, wanting to directly affect the opponent's conviction, making the opponent feel fear and dread. Only that little bit of emotion, the opponent's strength, could probably only be unleashed at 60 to 70%. Rumble. Luo Feng's gaze became even colder. A formless and terrifying killing aura emanated, infused with Luo Feng's willpower and aura, directly pressuring the opponent. It made people feel like Luo Feng was like a cold and bloodthirsty, absolute ferocious beast, sitting there looking down at his opponent. Ha ha! Savage let out a carefree laugh. Under his messy hair, his godlike eyes locked onto Luo Feng. Luo Feng, let's fight! Fight! An extremely intense, murderous aura spread out. The savage young man's intense battle intent contained his willpower, incomparably resolute, unshakable. Their auras collided, and their wills collided. Both of them could feel how strong their opponent was. Boom! Boom! Beams of dazzling, sharp golden energy flows and beams of earth yellow energy flows that were as heavy as mountains immediately spread out, with Luo Feng and Rong Jun at the center. I'm going out with my wife today. I'm updating earlier. Brothers, the monthly votes were awesome, but now the third place is in danger. I hope everyone can take a look and see if there are any monthly votes left. If there are, please support Tomato. Chapter 420. Let's fight, let's fight. Savage was like a war god of the universe, roaring, his eyes glowing red. Under his opponent's influence, Luo Feng's eyes grew even colder. His entire being was like a suppressed beast. Clang, blade drawing, dash. Savage's bare feet moved. Every step he took was tens of millions of kg. The arena, with a diameter of over 10 kilometers, shook. With just 2 steps, the tall and sturdy Savage had already reached before Luo Feng. That blade, infused with earth yellow energy, slashed straight at Luo Feng. Luo Feng, who was on the soaring shuttle, fiercely retreated in an arc, his eyes stunned. He squeezed out a word through his teeth. Kill. Xiao. A thread of golden light flew out from the dark golden long rod on Luo Feng's back. The 9 little golden blades had complicated engravings on them, swiftly flowed, and the golden threads formed a complete body, swiftly forming a golden blade. Different from 2 months ago during the elimination, the current Luo Feng's control of the golden blade was obviously much more proficient. Rumble. A ray of golden light shot towards the Savage youth. Break. Savage's expression was malevolent, roaring softly, fiercely slashing at the golden rainbow. Under the pressure of the earth yellow energy around Savage, Luo Feng's eyes flashed coldly. The golden rainbow still immediately changed directions to dodge the blade. Dang! It looked like it was about to dodge, but the saber seemed to move a few inches horizontally in the air, directly slashing down on the golden rainbow, causing the golden rainbow to be slashed backward. The entire golden illusory sword trembled as if it was about to fall apart. The savage young man couldn't help but take a step back. His hand that was holding onto the saber loosened. Big brother and second brother are right. This punk's blade is really heavy. There hasn't been a single person who could slash my golden blade so hard it almost broke apart. In the distance, Luo Feng, who was controlling the golden blade in mid-air, his expression changed. Gold, extremely young and strong? Savage stuck out his tongue, licking his thick lips, after which he fiercely roared, seemingly extremely excited. Savage! Savage! The 1 billion spectators in the dojo, countless of them were affected by the atmosphere, all roaring with all their might. Within the arena, die! Luo Feng remained cold and unmoved, snorting coldly. Immediately, the floating golden blade once again sped up, becoming a golden rainbow that pierced toward Savage. The savage young man who let out a roar rushed over with large strides. His footwork changed. His silhouette evaded time and time again. It was simply unpredictable, swiftly closing in on Luo Feng. No matter what, I can't let him get close. Luo Feng stepped on the soaring shuttle and pulled apart the distance between him and his opponent. The golden sword rainbow charged towards the savage young man again and again. Dang, 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 dang. Again and again, they collided head-on, causing the earth to shake and the mountains to shake. However, that savage used the energy from the clash to change his direction, swiftly closing in on Luo Feng. One had to know that at their level, they could travel hundreds or even thousands of meters in a flash. And Luo Feng couldn't be too far away. If he was too far away, it would be very tiring to control the spirit weapon. This gave Savage the chance to get close and attack. Luo Feng was, after all, a controller. He specialized in long-range attacks and not close combat. What a powerful movement. Luo Feng worked hard to dodge again and again. It was extremely dangerous. Luckily, with his comprehension of the gold origin laws, using the soaring shuttle was much easier. His speed was much faster and more nimble. This Luo Feng is escaping really quickly. Savage was anxious within. Normally, I can instantly get close and kill a controller. However, this Luo Feng spirit weapon is extremely nimble and fast. He dodges every time. In the spectator stands of the dojo, the 1 billion spectators were completely stunned. Of these two opponents, one was strong and barbaric, dashing about, his footwork peculiar, almost like an invincible war god, chasing after Luo Feng time and time again. And the other was like an elegant master, time and time again dodging and dodging the opponent's close range, making the opponent's efforts useless, simultaneously controlling his spirit weapon to attack again and again. Two completely different styles. One was a barbaric fighter. The other was a long-range fighter. Savage is too strong. If this madman dodges any slower, he'll be finished if he gets hit by the blade. Madman is really strong. Every time he clashed head-on, that Savage's body would suffer from the recoil. He's probably already injured. If this goes on, Savage will definitely be finished. Whether it was the 1 billion spectators in the dojo or the countless galaxies watching through the broadcast, Luo Feng and Rong Jun both understood how difficult it was to deal with their opponents. Lightning fast clashing time and time again. It lasted for a minute before stopping. Savage stood in the arena and looked at the distant Luo Feng. Luo Feng, too, stopped attacking. My arm. Savage creased his eyebrows. He felt his entire right arm ache. The area between his thumb and index finger had already split open, clashing head-on again and again. Every clash was extremely terrifying. If it was a normal genius, just one clash would cause his arm to break. Just like before when Luo Feng used the golden blade, with one attack, it would immediately break his opponent's arm. As one of the 9 godly weapons, the Nan Shun armament combined with the Origin Law comprehension to unleash an attack. How terrifying was its power! And Savage was famous for his barbaric strength. Every slash would immediately cause the opponent's arm to break, killing him. Two strong people, clashing head-on, continuously clashing 10 times. I can't go on like this. If this goes on, my right arm will be crippled. Savage stared hard at Luo Feng. Every clash I have to endure, and he's a spirit reader. The clash doesn't even affect his body. I'm at a disadvantage. In midair, dressed in a dark gray armor, Luo Feng was shocked within. After 10 consecutive full-powered attacks, he's actually completely fine. Using the Nan Shun armament, full-powered attacks use up a lot of spirit energy. After 10 attacks, my spirit energy has been depleted by more than half. If this was in reality, he would have the core to supply his spirit energy. He wouldn't have to worry about his spirit energy being depleted at all. However, right now, in the virtual universe world, this body was set up by the virtual universe company. Everyone's body and spirit energy were the same. Even though his spirit energy was replenishing itself every second. However, this replenishment was a star level 9 spirit reader's normal replenishment speed. It couldn't compare to the Golden Horned Beast's core. He was in trouble. Savage's right arm was injured. He didn't dare continue clashing head-on. Luo Feng's spirit energy had been depleted by more than half. He didn't dare to continue clashing head-on. What to do? Holding one's breath. The dojo quietened down. The two watched from afar. And the 1 billion spectators in the dojo also quietened down. And in the Ganwu universe country, the trillions of universe humans watching the broadcast of this pinnacle battle were all nervous and anticipating. Virtual universe, on a huge floating island in the air above the Ganwu continent, within one of the tallest buildings. Within this building, there was a huge hall. The entire hall's floor was made out of a black, peculiar crystal. The crystal surface had 64 facets, glowing with a luster that mesmerized one's soul. It made the entire hall naturally have a peculiar energy. Everything seemed surreal. Countless thrones were scattered, arranged in an orderly fashion. Right at the front of the hall was a screen. On it was broadcasting Luo Feng and Rongjun's battle. The Virtual Universe Company has placed the two of them on Island 00001. These two punks, their strength is still alright. However, they shouldn't be considered the pinnacle of our Ganwu Universe country's current batch. This bit of strength, they can't even make it into the top 10. However, they're about 100th, that's about it. The densely packed and scattered thrones had people sitting on them. Some were men, and some were women. Some were tall, and some were short. Some were old, and some were children. Their auras were either incomparably hot or ice cold. This group of people with extremely long lifespans, the pinnacle existences of the Ganwu Universe country, were casually chatting. Boring. I thought there would be a surprise. It's about the same level as the previous batch's average. This group of great existences were casually discussing. Within the dojo, Luo Feng and Savage only stayed silent for about 20 seconds before breaking the silence. As the arena battles lasted at most 5 minutes, the longer it dragged on, the smaller the battle space. To Luo Feng, who had to constantly dodge and widen the distance, it would be extremely disadvantageous. Under the continuous attacks of the Nan Shun armament, you can even block it. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed with madness. I respect you. Hence, Luo Feng raised both his hands and pointed at Savage. Wong. A beam of golden light shot out from the dark golden long rod on Luo Feng's back, swiftly assembling in midair. This scene made the entire dojo, the countless spectators watching the broadcast, and even the great Undying's eyes gleam. What? Savage couldn't hide his shock. The second golden blade? Yes. Before Luo Feng floated the golden blade that had been assembled from the start, and at this time, another golden blade was formed in midair. Done. Luo Feng gritted his teeth, his expression furious, his consciousness split into 2 blades, using all his strength to support them. Nan Shin armament. Its name was the 9-level Hun Tian Yin. When unleashed, there were a total of 9 levels. First level, Illusion Blade formed 2 in D level. sky-piercing form amongst them. This first level was the easiest. Even domain lords who didn't understand the origin laws could use their powerful spirit energy to forcefully form it. Of course, when one spirit energy wasn't strong enough, one would need a strong enough consciousness and origin law comprehension to form it. The first level before the elimination, Luo Feng, could already barely form it in reality. The second level, sky-piercing form, was 100 to 1,000 times harder, because the sky-piercing form required one to simultaneously unleash 9 golden blades, and then condense the 9 blades into one, forming a golden true blade. Different from a misty illusion blade, it condensed into a golden true blade that was only 1 chi long. This golden true blade's power was extremely huge. Only then would it have the right to be called sky-piercing. Hence, Luo Feng had long since tried to unleash 2 golden blades. After all, only by unleashing 9 golden blades would have the right to condense the illusion into reality, unleashing the sky-piercing form. In reality, I'm only a star level 7 spirit reader. My spirit energy isn't strong enough. I can't unleash 2 blades yet. However, in the virtual universe, my spirit energy is at the star level 9. It's much stronger than in reality. Spirit energy is stronger than reality. I have more confidence in unleashing it from the elimination till now. It's been over 2 months. I've been training hard before this arena battle. I already have the confidence to unleash 2 golden blades. Luo Feng looked at Savage before him, fiercely shouting, "Savage, take this! Rumble, rumble!" The 2 golden blades, one on the left and one on the right, became 2 golden rainbows, attacking the distant Savage. P.S. Chapter 1. Chapter 421. Luo Feng. Luo Feng. The entire dojo spectators, along with the over 100 million galaxies watching the broadcast, all cheered excitedly. With regards to Luo Feng and Rong Jun's advertisement, the Virtual Universe Network had many pieces of information, analysis, etc. Many warriors were analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of these 2. The Nanshan armament was naturally discussed too, hence many of the spectators knew how difficult it was to unleash. Luo Feng unleashing 1 golden blade was already invincible, and now he actually unleashed 2 at once. It was too intrepid. The savage youth let out a low growl and took a step forward. With a single step, he was a kilometer away. Rumble, rumble, bringing with it an energy wave. The 2 golden rainbows followed and attacked. Break! Savage's expression was fierce. He slashed like lightning towards one of the golden blades. Dang! The moment it struck, the blade slightly changed direction. At the same time, Savage immediately turned, borrowing the force of the collision to swing his blade. Then he blocked the second golden rainbow. Chi! Fresh blood was spat out. Savage retreated 2 steps, his face slightly pale, his eyes, however, burning with a strong fighting spirit, communicating, "Luo Feng. The 2 golden blades are powerful. However, you're splitting your attention to control 2. Each golden blade only has about 90% of its original power. 90% power. Combining the 2, if you block it once, you'll be considered powerful. I'll see how many times you block it." In mid-air, Luo Feng squinted, communicating again. "Ha ha. Savage suddenly laughed loudly, simultaneously fiercely swinging the blade in his hand. Xiao! The blade in his hand became a blur, almost like a hidden weapon, shooting straight at Luo Feng in mid-air. HM? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. One of the golden blades in mid-air became an arc and blocked. With a dang, the blade was immediately knocked away and landed on the distant arena. What is he doing? The spectators in the dojo were in an uproar. A fighter throwing away the weapon in his hand? Almost like a fighter cutting off his own arm. There was simply something wrong with his brain. What happened? Why did he throw away his weapon? This savage wants to admit defeat. HM, that madman Luo Feng from the Black Dragon Mountain Starfield. The moment those 2 golden blades appeared, this savage knew he couldn't beat him, hence he admitted defeat. It's not strange at all. Are you admitting defeat without fighting to the death? The audience was in an uproar. There was silence in the arena. Floating in mid-air, Luo Feng frowned, looking coldly at the distant savage on the ground. Even though he hadn't interacted much with this savage, the simple conversation, the clash of willpower, Luo Feng was very sure. This savage before him had absolute confidence. Even if he lost, he would fight to the death. There was no way he would admit defeat. Luo Feng. Savage stood in the arena. The corner of his mouth still had traces of blood, but his eyes were gleaming, laughing loudly. The internal selection of the Ganwu Universe country. I've never cared. My bottom line is to enter the top 1,000 in the universe. My true goal is to be number one in the universe. Luo Feng was shocked. The 1 billion people in the spectator stands were shocked. The countless humans in the over 100 million galaxies watching the broadcast were all shocked. At this time, countless people in the Ganwu Universe country were shocked. Number one in the universe? His bottom line was to enter the top 1,000? This was a competition between large amounts of universe country geniuses. On average, each universe country didn't even have one person. He actually dared to say his bottom line was to be in the universe's top 1,000, and his goal was to be number one in the universe. This couldn't even be called simple arrogance. Simply madness. Within the arena. Luo Feng couldn't help but be shocked. The savage young man on the ground flipped his hand, and a new saber appeared in his hand. It was a pure black giant saber. It was obviously 2 sizes bigger than the previous blade. I didn't expect that just to get a slot in the Ganwu Universe country would force me to take out the earth-splitting blade. Savage's entire aura changed. Wielding the huge blade, he seemed to have become a savage god of war, causing Luo Feng in mid-air to shout, "Whatever moves you have, take them out first." Rumble, rumble. 2 golden rainbows slashed over. "Huh." Savage laughed loudly. Wong. Immediately, 2 savage youths appeared in the arena. These 2 silhouettes were rushing over with terrifying speed. What? Luo Feng, who was controlling the 2 golden blades, was shocked. This spirit reader controller was most afraid of not being able to confirm his target. These 2 savage youths, one of them is definitely fake. However, with a sweep of my spirit energy, they're both real. How can that be? It was very easy to create an illusion. In truth, for a warrior like Luo Feng, with his shocking movement speed, in the eyes of Earth's normal humans, they would only produce a series of images, almost like a body illusion. And in truth, no matter how fast he moved, he was still one person. With a sweep of his spirit energy, there was nowhere to hide. Arc light! Arc light! Luo Feng roared within. The golden-horned beast studied 2 great techniques, one of which was absolute space. Absolute space's first-level arc light. The moment one mastered it, one's movement would cause space to warp, creating the effect of having 2 bodies. Absolute space's second level. Infinite changes. The moment one mastered it, one could even create up to 10,000 bodies within a certain area. Absolute space's third level. Teleportation. At this level, one would be invincible within the undying level. Even Luo Feng's teacher, the master of the Yun Mo planet, hadn't reached the teleportation level. Even amongst the generations of golden horn beasts, there were very, very few that could do it. This technique was actually a technique for one's comprehension of the space laws. If one comprehended the space laws, they too could reach the arc light effect. The body would follow a strange arc and explode with speed, creating the effect of having 2 bodies. And the instantaneous speed was shockingly fast. Virtual universe, Ganwu continent, within the huge floating island structure. Many huge thrones. The great beings were still very casual before. However, at this time, space origin laws. It's space, and his comprehension is quite high, not any weaker than his comprehension of the Earth origin laws. He can actually distort space and create a cloning effect. This punk, our Ganwu Universe country, hasn't produced such an absolute genius in so many years. Crazy, this punk is crazy enough. No wonder he dares to say his bottom line is the universe's top 1,000. His true goal is the universe's number one. His comprehension of the Earth and space laws are so high, and his domain has even reached the 9th level. Just who nurtured this absolute genius? These great beings were all shocked, because if a universe-level warrior could step through the gateway of the origin laws, he would already be considered an extraordinary genius. However, those geniuses belong to the universe system level, and people like Nabini and Hong belong to the star field level. Luo Feng, who could unleash one golden blade, belonged to the universe country level. Unleashing 2 golden blades meant he was the top of the universe country geniuses. As for Savage, Earth and space comprehension at the same time, and his comprehension was quite deep, and he was just a star-level punk. This was simply heaven-defying. He belonged to the entire universe humanity-level genius, and he was one of the top. Arclight, Luo Feng, who had been studying absolute space with all his might, immediately understood what was going on. Go and die. Luo Feng was in mid-air, pointing at Savage and shouting. Rumble. Boom. 2 golden sword rainbows shot towards one of the Savage youths. Looking at it with the naked eye and using psyche power, one could see that there were 2 Savage youths. However, in reality, there was only one person. It was only because the space around him was distorted that it created a mirror-like effect. Ha! Savage laughed loudly. He wasn't afraid of the 2 golden blades at all, rushing straight at Luo Feng. Crack! In the distance, Luo Feng roared. Luo Feng has always been researching absolute space, so he was very clear about the power of the first level. Because he was clear, Luo Feng knew that even if he shot out 2 golden blades, they would still be dodged. The most important thing to do now was crack. The 2 golden illusory swords instantly split into 18 small golden swords and shot out in all directions. Shio! 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 It instantly disintegrated and shot out. Instantly, 2 small golden swords struck the savage young man's body. Although they were weaker after disintegrating, they still destroyed his movement technique. Die! Luo Feng rushed down. Simultaneously, the 2 soaring shuttles beside him shot out 2 golden lights that became 2 golden fishes, disintegrating the golden blades, unleashing the swordfish formation. At the same time, the 2 golden fishes shot at the Savage youth whose movement technique was destroyed. What? Savage was shocked within. This movement technique of mine from the space origin laws, my instantaneous explosive speed, is shocking. If his golden blades were slightly further away, I would be able to easily dodge them. If it was 2 or 3 golden blades at close range, it wouldn't be much. After all, there were a total of 18 of them. It completely affected his speed, destroying his movement technique. Chi! Chi! The 2 golden fishes had already reached before him. Dang! Dang! Savage's huge blade slashed out. Almost as though space itself was being suppressed, he slashed the 2 golden fishes away, after which he raised his blade high and slashed at Luo Feng. Go! Savage's blade slashed down. His domain and space origin law comprehension combined, completely suppressing Luo Feng. Die! Luo Feng roared. Rumble! Rumble! In the distance, the 18 little golden blades swiftly formed 2 golden blades behind Savage's back. As Savage slashed at Luo Feng, the 2 golden blades had already shot towards him. Sensing the danger through his domain, Savage didn't flee. Instead, he roared, "Go and die!" Pung! The blade was as fast as lightning. Luo Feng held the shield in his hand. He felt as though he was smashed by a huge mountain. His entire body rumbled, and he lost consciousness. Pung! After slashing, Savage tried his best to dodge. He had already missed the best opportunity. Shio! Shio! Under the inertia, one of the 2 blades brushed past his body. The other pierced through his chest, creating a bowl-sized hole. His internal organs ruptured and fresh blood spurted out. Dong! Savage landed on the ground. Fresh blood flowed from the hole in his chest. He was like a heavily injured war god. However, he stood there staring at Luo Feng's corpse. At this moment, After the 2 golden illusory swords disintegrated, the 18 small golden swords fell from midair and smashed into the arena. Clang! Dang! 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 A series of crisp clashing sounds resounded throughout the entire arena. The 1 billion people in the arena were silent, looking at the 2 absolute geniuses in the arena. One stood there. One lay down. P.S. The 2nd chapter has ended. Continue writing the 3rd. Brothers, give me some monthly support. Tomato, continue writing. Chapter 422. Savage stood there silently, looking at Luo Feng's body on the ground. Luo Feng, Savage muttered. My plan before was to defeat you and then kill myself. However, your strength far exceeded my expectations. If I don't use my full strength, I won't be able to defeat you. Compared to the high-intensity rotation battles that aren't challenging and only serve as training, defeating you is more important. And when you go all out, I can't defeat you without killing you. Savage recalled the scene from before, still shocked. This Luo Feng's reaction was too fast. According to his expectations, the moment he unleashed his full strength, Earth and space origin laws exploding, just the space distorting and 2 bodies appearing would cause Luo Feng to panic. Even if Luo Feng used the golden blades to attack, he would be able to dodge them, and then he would immediately get close and slash down. Luo Feng wouldn't be able to block it. Naturally, he would be heavily injured, after which he stopped and chose to kill himself. Everything would be very easy. However, what actually happened was completely different from what he had imagined. The moment his movement technique exploded, Luo Feng chose the most lethal attack. 2 golden swords instantly disintegrated and shot out at an extremely close distance. 18 little golden swords collectively shot out in all directions, covering the surrounding space and directly destroying his movement technique. At the same time, the 2 golden fish attacked. The 2 battled. During the battle, Luo Feng controlled the 18 little golden blades to swiftly form the golden blades and shot at Savage from behind. Chain after chain. From the moment I unleashed my full strength to the end of the battle, it wasn't even 0.1 seconds. The golden blades broke apart and shot out to break my movement, using the soaring shuttle to attack, and then the golden blades to counterattack, and the timing was extremely precise. If he had hesitated for even a moment in between, giving me an opening, he would have been finished. To be able to think of everything in a short 0.1 seconds and execute it perfectly. Calm. Absolute calm. Savage looked at Luo Feng's corpse, filled with respect. I can't be as calm as you. Indeed, Luo Feng and Luo Hua were both extremely calm people deep in their bones. And on Earth, Luo Feng had experienced countless life and death situations, especially when he took over the Golden Horned Beast. He thought he was going to die. This experience allowed Luo Feng to remain calm no matter how dangerous it was. And the Golden Horned Beast bloodline also affected him. The Golden Horned Beast specialty was being cold and bloodthirsty, coupled with the cultivation of the mental state taught by Big Brother and Second Brother. In terms of calmness, amongst the hundreds of geniuses from the Ganwu Universe country who had stepped through the gateway of the origin laws, Luo Feng was number 1. In fact, the Earth Trio were all very impressive. In terms of becoming one with the world and empty mind, Luo Feng can't compare to his Big Brother and Second Brother. And if he was absolutely cold and calm, his personality, along with the influence of the Golden Horned Beast bloodline, would already be comparable to Earth's ancient records of Hong and Thunder God, who had trained their temperaments to the highest level. Hong and the God of Thunder had cultivated to the highest level of Chinese culture and Indian culture purely based on their temperament. Luo Feng's mental state was weaker than them. However, he was still much stronger than the other geniuses of the universe who didn't train at all. Adding on the influence of the Golden Horned Beast bloodline, in terms of calmness, he could catch up to his Big Brother and Second Brother. Congratulations, Rongjun. A loud and resounding voice resounded throughout the entire dojo. And thanks to Luo Feng, The two of them have given our Ganwu universe country trillions of citizens a spectacular battle of the pinnacle. This is definitely the most exciting battle of this genius battle so far. However, there will always be a winner and a loser in a battle. This battle, Rongjun wins. Rongjun has also received a spot from our Ganwu universe country. He has the right to represent the Ganwu universe country and compete against the geniuses from the other universe countries. Let's all wait and see. Rongjun in the many-universe country geniuses battles, obtaining even higher honors. Rumble. The 1 billion spectators in the dojo were all cheering, some cheering Rongjun and Savage, some cheering Luo Feng and Madman. This battle was definitely more exaggerated and exciting than what many of the spectators had expected. Luo Feng's explosive power made many think that this battle would be Luo Feng's victory. Who would have thought that Rongjun would be so sick, actually splitting his body into two, and the final battle was even more intense. Luo Feng was dead. Rongjun was heavily injured. Virtual universe, Ganwu continent, within a large palace. Within one of the large palaces, close to 1,000 youths were gathered, all looking up at the screen before them. On the screen, Luo Feng and Rongjun's battle had just ended. Amongst you, some have already received a spot. Some are about to participate in the fourth battle. Below the screen, a tall and sturdy green-horned one-eyed man roared. You are the most exceptional of our Ganwu universe country's younger generation. Many of you think you are amazing. Look at the two of them. All of you, think about it carefully. After saying that, the green-horned one-eyed man walked out of the palace. Within the palace, the group of youths all had complex expressions on their faces. Ugly. Stronger than me. Both of them are stronger than me. A handsome cat-eared youth shook his head. That madman, 2 golden blades. I can't block them. Too strong. He can actually unleash 2 golden illusory swords. I can barely unleash one. These two, I still have some confidence in that Luo Feng. That Rongjun, according to teacher's evaluation, has comprehended the space laws. That movement, that blade. A tall and sturdy 8 m tall, like a savage giant youth muttered softly, constantly shaking his head. The floating island in the air above the Ganwu continent, within that huge building. On the densely distributed thrones, great and eternal existences were discussing the battle that had just taken place. How long has it been? Our Ganwu universe country's genius battles. How long has it been since such a level of battle happened? It was 300 over years ago, back when General Tai was still a star level 7. His battle was comparable to this one. Right, 300 over years ago. In the blink of an eye, close to 2 million years have passed. My battle back then could barely compare to this one. 89 million years have passed. I've become undying. However, my opponent back then wasn't any weaker than me. It's a pity that when he became a domain lord, he went to the foreign battleground to train and fell. A powerful metallic voice resounded. The path to undying is incomparably difficult. There are many dangers along the way, and the number of geniuses that have fallen has long been uncountable. The geniuses that have fallen can mostly only be called geniuses within a galaxy or starfield. And people like Luo Feng and Rongjun, these two punks, these absolute geniuses, their chances of falling are much lower. That's true. If it was in the Ganwu secret region, these absolute geniuses would definitely be highly valued to lower the chances of them falling. However, if it's in a virtual universe company, there are too many absolute geniuses there. The competition is even more intense. The elimination rate is even higher. The number of geniuses falling would be much higher than in the Ganwu secret region. What they need are true, absolute warriors. This time, this Rongjun will definitely be ranked number 1 in our universe country. And the universe's top 1,000 is definitely not a problem. As for whether or not he can make it to the universe's top 1, the chances are very, very low. Making it to the top 10 is still possible. Right? Rongjun is our Ganwu universe country's number 1 genius. Luo Feng should be in our Ganwu universe country's top 10. That punk Luo Feng is very calm. I have high hopes for him. So calm, the chances of him falling in the future will be lower. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Luo Feng still didn't know that the Ganwu Universe Country's group of Undyings were evaluating his and Rongjun's strength. He was still thinking about the battle from before. Nimble. Luo Feng's consciousness returned to reality within his own study on Earth. My nimbleness is still not enough. Spirit Reader controllers riding spirit weapons are originally meant for long-distance battles. The moment a fighter gets close, that's just courting death. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. As long as I'm nimble enough, that Rongjun can't even touch me. At least I'll be invincible. Ichung, the space origin laws, I haven't even touched the door yet. However, training in absolute space for a long time, my body's instantaneous explosive speed has risen. Luo Feng thought, when I return, I'll need a flying spirit weapon that's most suitable for me. As for the soaring shuttle, it's ultimately still a hodgepodge. It's not specialized enough. He had to reflect on every battle. This was a habit he developed when he was a student in the Dojo of Limits. After Luo Feng reflected for over half an hour, he entered the Virtual Universe Network. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-star Bay Little District. 30. You've only returned now. Where did you go after the battle? Thunder God was waiting on the grass outside Luo Feng's villa, with Su Xian and a large group of people. Daddy, you're too powerful. Little Hai and Ping Ping rushed up and hugged Luo Feng. Big brother, you fought beautifully. Luo Hua revealed a look of glee. Right now, the entire Ganwu Universe Country is shaken. Countless people are discussing you too. Go to the Virtual Universe Company's website and take a look. Many are leaving comments saying that you and that savage are definitely the strongest geniuses of our universe country. It's all crazy outside. Su Gang nodded and exclaimed, Brother-in-law, you lost the battle. However, the entire Black Dragon Mountain Island is as excited as if you won. Indeed, actually many people in the universe couldn't understand the intricacies of Luo Feng and Rongjun's battle. But because the battle had just ended, Rongjun had already been recognized by a large group of sector lords, even some Undyings, as the #1 genius of the Ganwu Universe Country. And he was the strongest genius in the past few hundred years. The #1 in the past few hundred years? This battle was naturally hyped up and heated. Rongjun and Luo Feng's fame immediately rose. Where's Big Brother? Luo Feng asked curiously. Big Brother there, he's at his house. Thunder God pointed at Hong's residence in the distance. About 10 minutes after your battle, the founder of the Three-Axe Mountain, known as the Time Sector Lord Luo, arrived. Time Sector Lord? Big Brother? Luo Feng's heart skipped a beat. Hong's residence, the living room. A white-haired old man sat there, opposite Hong. You don't regret it? Luo looked at Hong. If you leave with me, you won't be able to return for over 20,000 years. Hong gently nodded. His eyes were calm, without a hint of hesitation. My monthly votes haven't been able to close the gap. Almost like I'll be overtaken at any time. I hope everyone who has a monthly vote, please support me. Tomato will put in a lot of effort to write. If you support Tomato, please throw in your votes. Even without a monthly vote, a recommendation vote can still warm one's heart. Today could be considered an outburst. It's rare for me to break out and write 3 chapters. In the past, I've always written 3 chapters to make up for it. Don't forget to vote. Chapter 423. Can you tell me why you suddenly decided to take me as your master before the deadline I gave you is up? The Time Sector Master, Luo, looked at the Earth Youth in front of him with interest. Is this related to the arena battle that just ended with your third brother? Hong nodded and sighed. Yes, this battle woke me up. I didn't think that in the blink of an eye, the gap between me and third bro would be so big. He knew Luo Feng was strong, but he didn't expect him to be this strong. If I continue to be so stubborn, without a teacher to guide me, I think the gap between me and third bro will only get bigger and bigger. I'll be left further and further behind. Hong shook his head and smiled faintly. Actually, it's not just third bro. I can also feel the pressure from second bro. Ever since he received the inheritance, his strength has improved significantly. Yes, The Time Lord Luo smiles and nods. It's good that you know the pressure. How about this? You get ready, and then we'll meet up in a spaceship. I'll give you a day to say goodbye to your family. Hong nodded. Not long after Light Sector Lord Luo left, Luo Feng and Thunder God came looking for him. You're here. Have a seat. Hong pointed at the two seats beside him. Big brother, what happened? Thunder God stared at Hong. Then why did the founder of the Three Axe Mountain organization, the Time Ruler, suddenly come? Didn't I give you 10 days to consider? You still have 2 to 3 days to consider. Luo Feng looked at Hong too. He couldn't help but feel nervous. I'm looking for the teacher, Hong said. Teacher? Luo Feng and Thunder God's expressions changed. You've really decided to leave with the Time Realm Lord? Thunder God hurriedly asked. That'll be 20,000 plus years. What concept is 20,000 plus years? The recorded history of our Huaxia culture is only 5,000 years old. We're going to leave Earth and leave for more than 20,000 years. This is simply, can't we still meet in the virtual universe? Hong smiled. It's different. Thunder God shook his head. Luo Feng looked at Hong's expression and couldn't help but ask softly, Big brother, have you decided? Hong glanced at Zhang Xian and nodded. Indeed, once I leave, I won't be able to see Earth for over 20,000 years. I won't be able to see my home. I won't be able to smell its air. Luo Feng looked at him. Since I've embarked on this path of pursuing the peak, what else can I give up? Hong shook his head. My children have already married, and I have nothing to worry about. I can also see my children in the virtual universe. As for my hometown, the place where I was born and raised, I'll keep it in my memories. Where there is gain, there is loss. After my wife died and my children got married, the most important thing in my life was martial arts. Roaming the universe, seeing the myriad wonders of the universe, pursuing the pinnacle of life. I like that kind of life. Hong's eyes glowed with a strange light. In a vast universe, there are as many experts as there are clouds. My goal is to stand among them. Not only that, but I also want to be the most outstanding and the strongest. Luo Feng and Thunder God exchanged glances, feeling their big brother's absolute confidence and desire. To be able to achieve high achievements in the martial Tao, one must first have this kind of absolute desire. Only then would they be able to work hard on their own initiative. Second bro. Third bro. Hong turned his head to look at the two of them and couldn't help but laugh. You two should be happy for me. Why? Both of you have inheritances, and you're just going to watch Big Brother cultivate in seclusion alone? Thunder God was stunned, after which he laughed loudly. Big Brother, well said. Me and Third Bro have our own inheritances. You two follow the Time Sector Lord. Let's compete and see which of us three brothers will be stronger in the future. Let's compete then. Hong laughed too. Big Brother and Second Bro, I'm currently in the lead. Luo Feng laughed. You better be careful and maintain your advantage. Otherwise, your second brother and I may catch up in the blink of an eye. Hong looked at Luo Feng. Thunder God too said, Right. Third bro, your big brother, I didn't have a good teacher to teach us at the start. Now that we have a teacher to teach us, our powers immediately soar, and your big brother's comprehension is extremely high. Even more so for me. Hence, third bro, you better be careful. If you have the ability, come and chase. Luo Feng laughed loudly. The three brothers of Earth laughed loudly. However, unknowingly, the corners of their eyes began to moisten. Milky Way, Earth, Asia continent, Hongning headquarters city. China time year 2066, July 27th, evening 5 p.m. The sun hadn't even set and the sky was bright red. A dark blue disc-shaped universe ship floated in the air above Hong Ning headquarters city. The entire upper echelon of the dojo of limits and Hong's own family were all gathered here. After bidding farewell to his family and friends, this super warrior Hong, who had a special position on Earth, finally flew into the universe ship alone. Goodbye. Haha, don't be like that. We'll meet again in the virtual universe. Following his loud laughter, Hong flew into the universe ship. Rumble. The universe ship fiercely accelerated and rushed into the sky. Big brother, have a safe trip. Thunder God stood in midair. He couldn't help but shout. Similarly standing in midair, Luo Feng looked up at the leaving universe ship, muttering, have a safe trip. On this day, year 2066, July 27th, Earth's absolute genius, the pinnacle warrior Hong, sat in a universe ship and left his home. This trip lasted for a very, very long time. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The Genius Battles arena battles had 4 rounds. On the day of Luo Feng and Rong Jun's battle, a total of 625 victors were chosen. As for the other 9,375 participants that were placed in the losers group, after resting for 3 days, they would begin the high-intensity and high-intensity battles. Everyone had to battle 9,374 times, just to fight for the 275 slots. Earth, Jiangnan Headquarters City, Yangzhou City. Big brother has left. Luo Feng sat on the balcony of his own castle. Lying there alone, holding a cup of tea, he's gone into the universe to follow the time Sector Lord. Wandering. His mind was still clearly filled with the scenes from the past. His ears still resounded with the three's laughter and vows from yesterday. A few thousand years later, or even tens of thousands of years later, us 3 brothers will compete again. Right, compete again. Let's compete. Who's afraid of who? This was a brother's vow. Whether it was Hong, Thunder God, or Luo Feng, they were all walking on this path towards the pinnacle of life. And this path was filled with obstacles and dangers. One mistake, and one would fall. Pung. Luo Feng put down his wine cup, his eyes gleaming. Big brother, you work hard. I won't slack off either. Babata. Enter the virtual universe. Luo Feng sent a thread of his consciousness into the virtual universe. In terms of consciousness strength, the universe-level Golden Horn Beast consciousness was completely capable of sending a thread into the virtual universe, while still remaining conscious in reality. Virtual universe, killing fields, within the killing field space. This was a vast space. Luo Feng stood in space. Waha! The demon Babata jumped and shouted, Luo Feng, the arena battles have just ended. You have 3 days to rest. On the first day of rest, you've come to the killing fields. You're really hardworking. Tell me, what kind of opponent do you want? I'll help you settle them all. Hee, I love training you the most. I want a spirit weapon. Luo Feng emphasized, a spirit weapon that specializes in flying. It has to be good at dodging and maneuvering in a small area. During the battle with Savage Rongjun, he clearly felt that against the opponent's speed, his own agility was too weak. Ah, you've discovered a weakness? The demon Babata rubbed his chin, floating in the air and looking at Luo Feng. Luo Feng, do you want to look at the long term or the short term? Long term? Short term? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. The little demon nodded. Right, the short term is to think of ways to increase your agility to the maximum. You only need 10 days to half a month. As for the long term, that'll be from the basics, one step at a time. At the same time, you have to choose a spirit weapon that will accompany you for a very, very long time. Long term, Luo Feng emphasized, I don't lack time. Very good. The little demon snapped his fingers, slightly raising his head. Your choice is very wise. Then the flying spirit weapon I've chosen for you will be the most suitable for the gold and space origin laws, a level 5 spirit weapon. The Dark Cloud Shuttle. The little demon smiled. Of course, at the start, you probably won't be able to match up to the soaring shuttle's effect. However, there's no rush. I'll train you well. How long will it take for my agility to increase greatly? Luo Feng asked. Depends on your comprehension. The little demon said, the higher your comprehension, the faster your comprehension of the origin laws. With my series of training, I estimate you'll pass in about a year. If your comprehension is weak, and you don't work hard enough, even 100 years won't be enough. Series of training? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. The little demon grinned, slowly. We have plenty of time. I'll train you well. From year 2066 onwards, the high-intensity losers' circle battles began. Even though it was called high-intensity, in truth there were only 10 battles a day. With Luo Feng's speed, he could finish a battle within a minute. Hence, the daily losers circle battles. To the other competitors, it might be mentally draining. However, to Luo Feng, it was very easy. After all, he was one of the top 10 geniuses in the Ganwu universe country. As for the losers group, including himself, there were a total of 49 who had stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. Amongst them, there were only 2 who could match up to Luo Feng. Hence, the loser circle battles were very easy, and it actually became a place for Luo Feng to experiment with his own battle techniques. Within the killing fields, this was a large grass plain. However, at this time, the sky above the grass plain was filled with countless bloodbirds flying towards Luo Feng. Dodge! 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 Don't touch them! Damn, quick! I have to be quick. This test, there's a possibility of getting full marks. The little demon roared, and Luo Feng stood on a black, peculiar shuttle spirit weapon. This dark cloud shuttle even naturally extended out black membranes, directly wrapping around Luo Feng's boots. Luo Feng's entire body had already become a blurry blur, constantly dodging the countless bloodbirds that covered the sky and land. Chi! 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 Every time a bloodbird touched him, he would be continuously hit. Every time he was hit 3 times. Rumble. All the bloodbirds vanished. You failed again. The little demon's red eyes stared at Luo Feng, roaring angrily. Continue with the basic training. I've never seen someone as stupid as you. With a wave of his hand, immediately the surrounding grass plain vanished, becoming a huge machine factory. Within it were many complicated machines. Begin, the little demon roared. Luo Feng was very calm, almost as though the little demon Babada's words didn't affect him at all. Under the demon Babada's hellish training, Luo Feng's entire being became even crazier. The little demon also went from being an idiot at the start to being average, still very weak, and later to being barely not bad. As for the golden horn beast, it spent all of its energy on deities of the world, absolute space, and the comprehension of the origin laws of gold. Just like that, time passed. The loser's circle battles didn't seem to consume much of Luo Feng's energy, instead becoming a place for him to experiment with his own strength. And Babada's hellish training, on the other hand, seemed to consume all of Luo Feng's energy every day. P.S. Chapter 1 has ended. Chapter 4:24. Time continued to flow. Even a being that completely grasped the time origin laws might be able to pause time or even rewind it for a short period of time. However, the universe itself had the ability to automatically adjust and return to normal. No matter how powerful a being was, he wouldn't be able to forcefully distort such a vast universe. The broadcast of the Loser's Circle was like a television series that kept on playing. After all, there were over 9,000 participants. It was inevitable that some special circumstances would occur, causing the battles to drag on for a few days. China year 2069, March 2nd, the last day of the Loser's Circle. Virtual universe Ganwu Continent's floating island. Within a huge building's elegant guest room, an old man dressed in a plain white robe stood there, bowing slightly, blade god official. Beside him stood an elite man dressed in golden armor. His face was covered in golden scales. His forehead was slightly curved, a golden horn that looked like a crescent blade. His entire being was like a golden blade that could split the heavens and earth. Even in the virtual universe, the pressure of his consciousness was enough to cause a universe-level warrior's consciousness to crumble. If Luo Feng saw this person, he would definitely be shocked. He looked so much like Bai Kaluo, only his scales have changed from green to gold. This is the Luo Feng you were talking about? The gold-armored man looked at the screen. The screen was broadcasting a battle that was about to happen. Yes, today is the last day of the Loser's Circle, and this battle should be the most exciting battle of the last day. The old man dressed in a plain white robe smiled. Ah, you introducing him? You mean this punk has the right to charge into the universe's top 1,000? The gold-armored man asked. Blade God official, watch and you'll know. The white-robed old man said. On the screen, dressed in a dark gray armor and carrying a dark golden long rod on his back, Luo Feng immediately clashed with a short youth wielding two blades. Rumble. The short youth charged forward like lightning, immediately reaching before Luo Feng. However, Luo Feng's expression was cold as he stood on the dark cloud shuttle. Golden energy revolved around it, immediately becoming a golden light that easily dodged the attack. Go! Rumble! A golden illusory sword appeared in midair. Its speed soared in the golden airflow, and it instantly bombarded the short young man. The short young man growled, and a green airflow burst out of his body. He brandished his two sabers, and it was as if he had turned into a monstrous wave to meet the golden sword rainbow. Chi! As the golden sword aura approached, it made an almost perfect S-shaped trajectory, brushing past the edge of the opponent's saber and cutting off his head. Luo Feng, victory! In the reception room. How is it? The white-robed old man smiled. Not bad at all. The gold-armored man nodded. This kid has already grasped the essence of a spirit reader controller. He's stepping on a level 5 spirit weapon dark cloud shuttle, yet using it so effortlessly and perfectly. Moreover, when he dodges, his explosive burst is extremely fast, and it seems very easy. That Nanshan armament is infused with the comprehension of the origin laws of metal. It is extremely young and unyielding. Usually, they could only barely change their direction. However, he was actually able to make the Nanshan armament easily form an S shape within such a short distance. The first layer, illusory sword form, has already reached the large success stage. His fundamentals are extremely good. The gold-armored man nodded, after which he creased his eyebrows. However, based on his strength, I estimate he'll at most make it to rank 3000 to 5000 in the universe rankings. 1008 universe countries, 1,000,000 absolute geniuses gathered. To make it to the top 1000 was simply too difficult. Take a look at this. The white-robed old man pointed at the screen, swiftly pulling up the scene of Luo Feng and Rong Jun's battle from back then. Rong Jun. I've heard of him. I heard he's the most exceptional in your Ganwu universe country. The gold-armored man watched and watched. Only after he finished did he say softly, "This Rong Jun is very strong. However, with his strength, he has no hope of getting number 1. He still has a chance of making it to the universe top 10. No hope at all." The white-robed old man was shocked. There's an absolute genius in this year's competition. The gold-armored man couldn't help but exclaim, "He's even stronger than the past number 1 of the genius battles. His comprehension of the space laws has surpassed most sector lords." The white-robed old man was shocked. "As for this Luo Feng, I know why you let me watch this video." The gold-armored man exclaimed, "It really surprises me. Compared to Rong Jun, flying and dodging is obviously very taxing. His control is very rough too. He's purely relying on spirit energy to forcefully control the direction. And watching the replay earlier, his control of the Dark Cloud Shuttle is already very perfect. His control of the Nanshan armament. His improvement is shocking too. His comprehension of the origin laws should have improved by quite a bit. Right? How long did your Ganwu universe country's internal selection last?" The gold-armored man asked. "Not even 3 years." The white-robed old man said. "Not even 3 years?" The gold-armored man couldn't help but say, "This Luo Feng, did he hide his strength during his battle with Rong Jun?" "No, he went through 9,374 battles. Match after match, his improvement is very obvious." The white-robed old man exclaimed. "Before the battles, he was at most within the top 10 of our Ganwu universe country. However, in less than 3 years, I'm afraid only Rong Jun can suppress him now. Many of our Ganwu secret region undyings are paying attention to him. His improvement speed is too shocking. And in the battles, his opponents aren't considered strong. Hence, they can't force him to unleash his full strength. I even suspect his strength is even stronger than what he's displaying now," the white-robed old man said. "And there's still a long time before the pinnacle battles. He can still continue to improve." The gold armor man smiled. If he continues to improve, when the pinnacle battles of the 1008 universe countries come, he might have a chance to make it into the top 1000. However, it'll still be very difficult. When the two Undyings from the Ganwu secret region and Virtual Universe Company were discussing Luo Feng arrived at the preparation hall of dojo number 00001. Within the preparation hall, he's Luo Feng. This Luo Feng, how did he improve so quickly? The teachers in the secret region all said that Luo Feng is currently ranked number 2 amongst our universe country geniuses. When the dark gray, armored black short-haired youth appeared in the preparation hall, it immediately caused a round of discussion. During these 3 years of the battles, Luo Feng's shocking improvement speed had attracted the gazes of many warriors. Madman, a thick and powerful voice resounded. Luo Feng turned to look. It was the one-story-tall Savage Rongjun. That Savage's hair was still messy and his feet were bare. Savage! Luo Feng shouted. Ha ha ha! Savage laughed loudly. A smile appeared on Luo Feng's face too. The two of them had always called each other by name before, suddenly calling each other by nickname. That was a joke. Luo Feng, your improvement is really huge. You haven't slacked at all these 3 years. Savage was very impressed with Luo Feng. No matter how strong a genius was, it was only because of his high talent. If he didn't work hard, he would still be eliminated. Luo Feng's improvement so much. One could imagine how hard he had been working behind the scenes. I don't dare slack off. Luo Feng shook his head. With you at the front, how would I dare slack off? Attention all! Enter the dojo. The Virtual Universe Company's organizer shouted. Immediately 1,000 geniuses followed the pathway and entered the dojo. Today, there were no spectators in the dojo. 1,000 absolute geniuses from the various galaxies of the Ganwu universe country stood there, looking at the giant before them. Standing before the 1,000 most exceptional geniuses of the universe country, the giant was at least 8 m tall. Savage Rongjun beside him was like a little doll. This giant was dressed in a scale armor, wearing a helmet. His entire being emitted a bloodthirsty energy. His eyes were like the gaze of a death god enveloping the group of geniuses. Holding their breaths, the 1,000 geniuses all had beads of sweat on their foreheads. In a virtual universe, just one's consciousness is this terrifying. Luo Feng couldn't control the nervousness of his body. His forehead naturally beaded with sweat. Under this pressure, his forehead beaded with sweat was already a reflex mechanism of his body. Congratulations, all of you. A cold voice resounded within the dojo. The 1,000 of you are the most exceptional in our Ganwu universe country. You all have the right to represent our universe country, competing with the geniuses from the other universe countries. However, this pinnacle battle, the difficulty is much higher than your previous battles. 1,008 universe countries. Some of them are even bigger than our Ganwu universe country, with many more galaxies. Because each universe country situation is different, the internal selection time is different too. Hence, the entire universe humanity, the genius pinnacle battle, will only truly begin after 1.5 years. This 1.5 years is your chance to improve. Luo Feng returned to the Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-star Bay Little District. It's over. The losers' battles are over. Luo Feng exclaimed. The losers' battles are over. However, your training hasn't. The fist-sized little demon on his shoulder shouted. Luo Feng, your Nanshin armament can only unleash 5 golden blades at once under such a desperate situation, and it's still very difficult. Unleashing 3 golden blades will be the most powerful. One person could barely wield a 100 kilograms blade. However, when he wielded a 30 kilograms blade, his attack power was actually the strongest. One theory, each of the 5 golden illusory swords became clumsy and unwieldy. Understood. Luo Feng nodded and smiled. Thinking back to these 3 years, indeed, his improvement had shocked many. In truth, back when he participated in the elimination, the Golden Horn Beast had only been at the universe level for 2 years, which meant The 5-level domains and stepping into the gold origin laws were results from 2064 to 2066. And now that 3 years had passed, it wasn't strange for his results to be high. My second body is close to being nurtured. Luo Feng was anticipating the birth of his second body, the Masha clansman. 2 chapters completed. Today's recommendation votes almost made it to number 1. Brothers, please support me with your recommendation votes. These votes are free. Every reader has one. Smash the recommendation votes. Smash them to your heart's content. Chapter 425. When the Ganwu Universe country's internal selection had just ended, in another human universe country extremely far away from the Ganwu Universe country, Savage Universe country, the internal selection was still ongoing. Savage Universe country. Why it was named that way? It was because this universe country had 2 extremely terrifying human races, the Manka people and the Desolate God race. These 2 races were ranked in the top 10 of the human bloodlines in the universe. Even if they didn't train, they could easily become a strong domain lord once they matured. To be able to evolve their bloodlines to such a level, the ancestors of the Manka people and the Desolate God race naturally gave birth to many undyings. These 2 races had very few people, but they were the core of the entire Savage Universe country, the true royal families. There was once a sector lord who kidnapped a Manka child. After being discovered, the Manka people sent out a group of undyings to destroy the entire organization the sector lord was in, even killing the 2 undyings within the organization. As for the sector lord who dared to kidnap the child, he was tortured for millions of years, until the end of his lifespan, before dying tragically. Daring to touch my Manka child, die. Daring to touch my Desolate God child, die. 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 The Manka people and Desolate God race. Dying in battle was an honor to them. However, whoever dared to kidnap their child and use their bloodline, that was offending the entire race. The Manka planet was the home of the Manka people. The entire planet was moved to a vast god country. Within the Manka planet, in an oval-shaped castle, the guards at the entrance were all universe-level warriors. Congratulations, Your Majesty. Congratulations, Your Majesty. The 2 sector lords smiled as they looked at the youth casually sitting at the table and eating. This was a Manka youth. He had the traditional good looks of the Manka people. He wore a silver armor, black hair, his head lowered as he ate, mumbling, "What's there to congratulate? Isn't it just a spot? It's not that easy." The 2 sector lords looked at each other and smiled. "Your Majesty." The slightly fatter sector lord smiled. "The Ganwu Universe country's internal selection has ended." Ganwu Universe country? The Manka youth raised his head, creasing his eyebrows. "I've heard. Father said that the Ganwu Universe country leader is very powerful. However, in the recent 100 genius battles, the Ganwu Universe country hasn't produced any outstanding figures. This time there's one that needs attention." The fat sector lord said respectfully. "Oh, say it." The Manka youngster lowered his head again, quickly sweeping the food on the table. The 2 sector lords looked at each other and smiled. Their Highness had the Manka people's best tradition: love to eat, love to fight, careless. However, even though the Manka people were careless, their brain regions were extremely wide, so they were still very smart. That was why they were able to join forces with the Desolate God race and lead the Desolate God Universe country. "Your Majesty." The fat sector lord smiled. "The absolute genius from the Ganwu Universe country is called Rongjun. His attainments in the origin laws of Earth and space are extremely high, and he has already reached the level where he can leave behind illusory figures in space." Illusory body? The Manka youngster suddenly raised his head. "Right." The 2 sector lords nodded at the same time. "This is troublesome." The Manka youngster slammed the table and stood up. To be able to leave behind an illusion in space, this is not just a matter of explosive speed. Moreover, he even had accomplishments in the origin source law of Earth. With the 2 of them working together, his attack will definitely be very, very fierce and unstoppable. Yes, the 2 world overlords nodded. This Manka youngster was the most outstanding genius of the current Manka generation. Since he was young, he had received guidance from many undyings on the Manka planet. Hence his vision was extremely high. With just a little bit of information, he could roughly guess the opponent's battle style and strength in his mind. Of course, even though they were called the most outstanding geniuses, in reality, the number of Manka youths who were still at the star level didn't even reach 1,000. Your Majesty, according to the information we've gathered, as well as our judgment, this youth called Rong Jun has the strength to charge into the top 10, and from the information we've gathered, he's been hiding his strength. Who knows, he might not even have used his full strength in the last battle. The Fat Sector Lord continued. He even said his goal is to be the universe's #1. Top 10? #1? The Manka youngster stared. Why are they all so arrogant? And their strength isn't bad. There are too many universe countries. 1,008 universe countries. But these bunch of arrogant bastards, when the time comes, they'll all be swept away by me. #1 is mine. The two sector lords laughed. Their majesty was filled with battle intent. However, this was after all a battle between all the geniuses of the universe. Geniuses with high bloodlines and those with weaker bloodlines. These races had huge populations. Picking 1 out of 10 billion, or even 100 trillion, they were usually stronger than picking 1 out of these hundreds of youths. Your Majesty, in the Ganwu universe country, other than Rong Jun, there's another called Luo Feng. The Fat Sector Lord said. Another one? The Manka youngster stared. No. The Fat Sector Lord shook his head. His strength is much weaker than Rong Jun's. However, what you need to take note of is compared to 3 years ago, his strength has improved tremendously. We're guessing. He has a certain chance of making it into the top 1,000, and he's extremely calm during battles. Who knows? He might even beat those stronger than him. Hence your Majesty has to take note of him. Don't get careless. I say, Uncle Fatty, the Manka youngster said helplessly. A chance of making it into the top 1,000? Don't tell me about such people. There's no challenge at all, no threat at all. The universe's top 1,000, it's no problem for me. However, the top 1,000 from the first to the 1,000th, the treatment is different. My goal is to reach the heavens in one step, directly entering the highest core of the virtual universe company, the primal region. Hence, I'll let you take note of those who can make it into the top 10. As for that, Luo Feng? Don't bother. I'll deal with him in one move. The two sector lords glanced at each other, smiling. Then we'll wait for your Majesty to enter the primal region. In a vast universe, humanity was one of the pinnacle races, occupying an extremely large area. And at this time, within the 1,008 universe countries, the internal selection of geniuses, many were still in progress. Many had already finished. The absolute geniuses ranked 1 and 2 in their respective universe countries. With a little bit of ability, we're all gathering information on potential threats within the other universe countries. Ganwu universe country, in a vast space. A giant stood in space. The space around him was completely warped. Within the warped space, it was impossible to discern his appearance. I'll let you all nurture the younger generation in the Ganwu secret region, selecting over 100 million geniuses from the entire universe countries, in the best places, under the best conditions. However, our universe country's final selection of the most outstanding ones were called Rong Jun and Luo Feng. They weren't nurtured by our Ganwu secret area. The voice rumbled. The surrounding space shook, almost as though it was about to shatter. The three white-robed undyings all bowed, their foreheads perspiring uncontrollably. You all, what use do you have? The thick voice was like a huge axe chopping down on the souls of the three undyings, causing their expressions to go pale, simultaneously kneeling down. To be able to nurture someone stronger than the Ganwu secret region, it also means that the two of them are outstanding. Especially Rong Jun. To be ranked in the universe's top 10, that's a good thing. Let's hope he can enter the primal region. To our Ganwu universe country, it'll be of great benefit in the future. The thick voice's anger had obviously decreased. Nurturing the younger generation has wasted a lot of your time. The three of you should first train well, and raise your own strength. As for nurturing the younger generation, I'll arrange for others. The thick voice didn't have any obstructions in space, directly entering the ears and souls of the three undyings. Yes, country leader. The three of them replied respectfully. Go! At this time, the three undyings let out a sigh of relief and left respectfully. The 1,000 geniuses from the Ganwu universe country that qualified, they had a year and a half to rest. Of course, none of them could relax this year and a half. Whether it was Rong Jun, Luo Feng, or the geniuses nurtured by the Ganwu Emperor or Rong Jun, they were all working hard. Rong Jun wanted to become the strongest. Luo Feng was even more unwilling to return home after just one battle. As for the geniuses nurtured by the Ganwu Emperor, they were actually suppressed by Rong Jun and Luo Feng, who didn't have as good a nurturing environment as them. Naturally, they had to hold it in. All of them were fighting hard. I lost. Luo Feng, you lost again. I still lost. All right, today's 3 battles with Rong Jun have ended. Within the Killing Fields desert, the little demon Babata waved his hand. Immediately savage Rong Jun, who was standing beside him, immediately vanished. This was the Rong Jun that was simulated within the Killing Fields. As for strength, intelligence, and experience, they were naturally based on reality. Luo Feng stood in the desert, frowning. I still lost. Luo Feng, don't be discouraged. You and Rong Jun. The main thing is that the difference in origin law comprehension is too huge. You've only comprehended the gold origin laws, even though you've improved quite a bit. However, that Rong Jun, his Earth origin law comprehension isn't any lower than yours. His space origin laws are equally profound. The difference in strength is huge. It's no surprise that you lost. The little demon Babata said. Luo Feng nodded. The opponents simulated by the Killing Fields, their experience and intelligence could be set very high. That Rong Jun knew some of Luo Feng's moves, knowing himself and his opponent, he immediately won even more easily. His defense is too strong. The Earth origin laws, they originally focused on defense. Luo Feng exclaimed, and the space origin law comprehension, after merging into his domain, it made his control over the space around him even stronger. His defense, even when I control the 3 golden blades, I can't do anything to him. He was originally very confident. However, with just Rong Jun, he had stumped himself. Right, Luo Feng. The Masha clansman should be born in another 3 days. The little demon said. Luo Feng's face revealed a look of anticipation. The Masha clan was known as the strongest assassin clan in the universe, able to be considered the strongest amongst the countless human races in terms of assassination. Just a piece of skin after death could be sold for an astronomical price. One could only imagine how strong the Masha clansman was. P.S. Chapter 1 has ended. Chapter 426. Earth's Asia continent, China's Yangzhou city. Early in the morning, Luo Feng stepped on the dark cloud shuttle and became a golden beam of light, immediately disappearing into the east horizon. In the air above the East Ocean, Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle and looked east at the red sun that slowly rose from the horizon. This level 5 spirit weapon is indeed different from a level 3 spirit weapon. Luo Feng looked down at the dark cloud shuttle beneath his feet. This was bought during the last Ganwu auction. The Ganwu auction was held once every 3 years. The first one was at the end of year 2065 in China's time. He had spent quite a bit of money that time. And another one was held at the end of year 2068. At that time, he was in the losers' circle battles. Hence, he specially applied to rest for 10 days to participate in the auction. The losers' circle battles were adjustable. As there were over 9,000 people, who knows what might happen in the next 3 years. Hence, the number of battles was more flexible. In theory, there should be 100 battles in those 10 days. Back then, he had discussed with his opponents, and they all agreed. Only then did the organizers agree to his application, giving him the chance to participate in the auction. 1 dark cloud shuttle, 2 units of the water fruit. I only spent 1 mixed element. Luo Feng exclaimed, "Luckily I have my brother's investment." During the 2065 auction, Due to buying the Masha clansman skin, the Nanshin armament, and the water coup fruit, he had a few $100 billion universe dollars left. Not even enough for one mixed element. These 3 years, he hadn't earned much. Luckily, when the last auction ended, his brother had over 2 trillion universe dollars. After 3 years of operation, even though he had fallen a few times, he still had 6 mixed elements. In 3 years, he had earned close to 200% profit. The more money he had, the harder it was to earn. Even many large organizations, even the investment departments of the Universe First Bank and Universe Galaxy Bank, had invited his brother Luo Hua. I earn it myself. I make all my own decisions. How awesome is that? To go to those departments, I still have to listen to the higher-ups. How troublesome. I'm not going. This was what his brother Luo Hua said to him. Stepping on the dark cloud shuttle, he stood in the air above the East Ocean. I still don't have enough money. Luo Feng thought. The golden horned beast, cloud contact vine, and even a Masha clansman. They all require large amounts of money to nurture. And my main body, too, requires money. In theory, the golden horned beast should be Luo Feng's main body. However, subconsciously, Luo Feng still used the Earth-human body as his main body. The golden horned beast was currently at the universe level. Just the metal it swallowed wasn't expensive. The golden horned beast was now at the universe level. Just the metal it swallowed wasn't expensive. The higher the cloud contact vine, the harder it was to evolve. Right now, the effects of the billowing water fruit were very good, but as the cloud contact vine became stronger, the money invested was also a bottomless pit. Back then, Huyen Bo had paid a terrifying price for his cloud contact vine to reach the immortal level. Masha clansmen knew very little. Luo Feng's earth body, just the Nanshin armament, the dark cloud shuttle, and the nutrition cabin alone had already invested a huge amount of money. And this was only for the star level. As one's horizons increased in the future, the cost would probably be even more shocking. Luo Feng had seen some of the universe's absolute treasures in the auction. One of them was worth a few thousand mixed elements. Babata couldn't even be bothered to tell Luo Feng about these treasures. Golden Horn Beast, Universe Level 7. Cloud Contact Vine, Universe Level 6. My main body, Star Level 9. Luo Feng thought, from now on, my main body will stop training. The Golden Horn Beast required 15 years to go from the Universe Level 1 to 3. From the 4 to 6, each level required 20 years, a total of 60 years. And the 7, 8, and 9 levels each required 120 years. As for the Universe Level 9, to step into the Domain Lord level, it required 500 years. The entire Universe level process would normally take close to 1,000 years. From the time he stepped into the Universe Level 6 in 2055 to now October 2059, it had already been about 4 years. Relying on the best metal combination to absorb energy from the internal space, the efficiency reached 56 times, comparable to 224 years. And Luo Feng needed 240 years to step into the 7 and 8 levels. Hence, right now, he was only at the Universe Level 7, just a little bit more to reach the Universe Level 8. As for the Cloud Contact Vine, it was already a Universe Level 2 in the world within a world. And back then, it had some life fruit energy that hadn't been completely digested. Along with over 100 of the billowing water fruits, it had long grown to the Universe Level 6. It was just that the difficulty of going from Level 6 to 7 was huge. It's about to be born. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Rumble. A black, triangular ship suddenly appeared in the sky. Luo Feng stepped on the dark cloud shuttle and swiftly entered the ship, after which the ship accelerated and rushed into the sky, passing through the atmosphere and leaving Earth, heading towards Mars. Solar system, Mars surface, in a huge crater, the universe ship landed within. Within the resting room of the ship, Luo Feng sat cross-legged, his consciousness completely entering the internal world. Within the internal world, that vast golden continent that was surrounded by golden mist. The golden horned beast, that was more than 10 miles long, was currently raising its head, a pair of dark golden eyes looking at the golden egg in the sky. It's about time. The golden horned beast's cold eyes had a sense of anticipation. Ka, ka, ka. The already incredibly thin golden egg suddenly cracked open and fell from midair, revealing an extremely peculiar black crystal. This crystal had a total of 10,081 sides. At the same time, every surface had incomparably complicated golden engravings. The golden engravings had completely assimilated into the entire crystal. This was the core of the Masha clansmen. The life crystal. Appear! A low roar resounded throughout the entire golden continent. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Streams of black energy swiftly flowed out of the life crystal and quickly condensed into a naked, yellow-skinned, black-haired man. It was the naked Luo Feng, exactly the same as Luo Feng himself. Mars, sand filled the sky on the surface. The dark red armored Luo Feng and the black armored Luo Feng, along with the mountain-like huge golden horned beast, were all on the surface. Interesting. The two Luo Fangs and the golden horned beast exchanged glances. As for the true life core, it could instantly appear within the body, or within the golden horned beast, or within the Masha clansman. Return. The golden horned beast vanished, leaving behind only the two Luo Fangs. Return. The dark red, armored Luo Feng vanished. Return. The black-clothed Luo Feng vanished too. The three of them entered the internal world, leaving behind a transparent crystal ball in the outside world. On the surface of the crystal ball were incomparably complicated golden engravings, emitting a golden light. So, the black-clothed Luo Feng appeared. The life crystal alone in the outside world isn't very safe, the black-clothed Luo Feng thought. As for this Masha clansman, transform. The black-clothed Luo Feng seemed to transform like the energy flow, swiftly transforming into the tall, savage Rong Jun, and then transforming again, becoming a golden horned beast that was only 10 m long, then a thick willow tree, and finally the black-clothed Luo Feng. Energy life forms are indeed special. Luo Feng smiled. This Masha clansman was an energy life form. It didn't have a fixed appearance. It could change at will. Of course, if one wanted to transform into a 30 kilometers tall giant, with a body defense comparable to a universe level 2, the energy consumption would be very high. Hence, normally, one would try not to change too much. The Masha clansman is known as the strongest assassin clan. So it's because of this. Luo Feng felt the difference between the Masha clansman and the other bodies. The favored child of space, it's indeed not fake. When he had the third body, the Masha clansman, Luo Feng naturally knew of the Masha clansman's natural abilities. Natural abilities? Copy. In terms of life form, the Masha clansman was completely different from humans and golden horned beasts. Humans and golden horned beasts were at least flesh and blood life forms. However, the Masha clansman was an energy life form. It didn't even have a soul. To be more precise, the life crystal was its soul and its source of energy. Hence, the Masha clansman wasn't afraid of spirit attacks. At the same time, they were unable to unleash spirit attacks, much less control objects. Hence, the Masha clansman walked the path of a fighter, and the natural abilities, copy, allowed the Masha clansman to copy the target's life energy, soul energy, etc. Their bodies could freely transform, and the moment they used this ability to copy the target's soul energy, then they would become an undying being, unless one used spirit energy to drill into their body to check. Otherwise, from the outer appearance and energy, one wouldn't be able to discover the Masha clansman's disguise. This was no longer a disguise. It was a copy. Natural abilities. Copy. You wouldn't be able to imagine the grandson you doted on so much had actually become a Masha clansman assassin. This seemingly simple natural ability, however, made the Masha clansman the most terrifying assassin clan in the entire universe. They were able to transform into any form of life form, able to disguise any life energy or soul energy. Of course, if the opponent was suspicious from the start, and use spirit energy to drill into their body. Naturally, they would be exposed. Favored by space. How peculiar. Luo Feng could feel the Masha clansman. It could faintly feel the ripples in the surrounding space. In the earth-human body, the golden-horned beast couldn't feel it at all. Absolute space. Luo Feng fiercely unleashed his movement. Simultaneously, the black crystal with 10,081 facets began to revolve. The complicated golden engravings on its surface began to ripple, almost as though it was responding to the ripples of the universe space. Shua, on the desert of Mars, 2 Luo Fangs immediately appeared, after which 3 Luo Fangs, 4 Luo Fangs, 5 Luo Fangs. Shua, Luo Feng stopped. It's too peculiar, too peculiar. The Masha clansmen's flying and dodging are too easy. It's simply unbelievable. Luo Feng's face was filled with shock. My comprehension of absolute space is very little. These 3 years, I can only be considered to have touched the entrance of the space origin laws. However, I'm not even at the entry level. But even though my comprehension is very little, using the Masha clansmen to unleash it, its speed is even faster and stranger. I can even feel the ripples in space. Luo Feng was shocked. Switch. The Masha clansman vanished. Dark red, armored Luo Feng appeared. The earth-human body. Luo Feng looked around. There was no longer that peculiar feeling from before. Everything had become very normal. This Mars was still Mars. The universe was still the universe. There was no longer that wonderful feeling of space ripples from before. Rumble. Luo Feng unleashed his movement. It was unpredictable and shockingly fast. However, that was it. It was unable to distort the space to create illusions. It feels like the Masha clansman in space is like a fish in water. Luo Feng thought. A human's swimming speed in water definitely couldn't compare to his running speed on land. And a fish's jumping speed on land definitely couldn't compare to its speed in water. One theory. The Masha clansman was naturally favored by the space origin laws. In the universe space, they were like fish in water. Even if their comprehension was low, the Masha clansman's movement would be many levels higher. Sick. Luo Feng couldn't help but exclaim. Of course, they are hailed as the strongest assassin race. Energy life, flesh and blood life, machine life, metal life, plant life, etc. There are trillions of different life forms. To be able to be hailed as the strongest assassin race amongst the countless races. Is that a joke? Babada said, natural ability. Copy, even though it's just a natural ability. However, in truth, the most sick thing about the Masha clansmen is they can feel the ripples in space. They are naturally compatible with the space origin laws. This allows them to unleash space-related techniques. Their power greatly increases. At the same time, comprehending the space laws is much easier than humans. Hence, any Masha clansman has already stepped through the doorway of the space laws. Their movements are peculiar, with thousands of changes. They can transform into any person, any form. Because their disguise is perfect, their attacks are strong too. If their attack fails, they can immediately escape. The most important thing is it's not just one clansman, all of them are strong. Hence, they are hailed as the strongest assassin race. Babada said. Luo Feng took a deep breath. No wonder, the Masha clansman's damaged skin was so expensive. The Masha clansman's normal transformations didn't have engravings on the surface. And when they were killed, most of them died from their cores shattering, their bodies dissipating, leaving behind only the damaged cores, and no skin would appear. There was only one circumstance that would cause the origin of space runes in the life crystal core to appear on the skin. Those were indeed true engravings infused with the space origin laws. Hence the skin was incomparably expensive. However, in the genius battle, I can only use the body given by the virtual universe to battle. And I can't use the Masha clansman. Luo Feng thought. Right now, it's October. There's less than a year left till the pinnacle battle between the 1,008 universe countries. What you can do now is to use the Masha clansman to imitate the golden horned beast form, and then study the absolute space technique. Babada said, the training process of the absolute space technique was only suitable for the golden horned beast form. Of course, with the comprehension of the space laws, all the clansmen could use it. After all, it was the same consciousness. Luo Feng nodded. Less than a year. Luo Feng took a deep breath. Right, Babada. I should be able to use the Masha clansman to retrieve the bank account my teacher left me. The Yin Mo Planet Master had split his inheritance into 3 accounts. They were separated into star level, universe level, and domain lord level disciples. I wanted to finish this chapter in one go. Hence I wrote an extra 1,000 words, after which, I'm late. Haha, I'll catch up tomorrow at 3. Brothers, let's count our tickets. Monthly tickets, recommendation tickets, anything is fine. Chapter 427. There was a huge difference in the amount of funds in these 3 accounts. The largest was the account that could be obtained when one became a region lord. That account contained all the remaining funds from the teacher's 5-star account. I'm sorry I can't. Babada said. My Masha clansman is universe level 2. Luo Feng couldn't help but say. No, Luo Feng, you forgot. The 3 accounts your teacher left behind don't just require strength. At the same time, you must open the account in the real world, and when you open the account, you need to test your psychic power. It must be the psychic power of the Yin Mo planet. Only then can you open the account. Babada said. Luo Feng frowned. The Masha clansman is my clone. It can easily use my spirit energy. Wrong. The Masha clansman is an energy life form. Its true form is that life crystal core. It doesn't have any telekinesis power. How could it have yours? Babada said. Luo Feng was stunned. It didn't matter if they were humans, monsters, or even the giant star beasts. Even if he walked the path of physical combat, he still had his soul and mind power. Telekinesis was a part of the soul, but energy life forms were different in terms of life form. Their core was the life crystal core, and they did not have any telekinesis. Another example would be mechanical lives. They were all artificial intelligence lives and did not have psychic powers. Therefore, back then, on the Yin Mo planet ship, including the Yin Mo planet master Hu Yin Bo and his undying servants, all died. But Babada didn't die, because Babada was an AI. Life forms were different, and even their lifespans were different. Even if AIs were not undying, they could still continue to live, just like that Lord Wu. Damn! Luo Feng shook his head. I thought. How disappointing. Luo Feng was helpless. You bastard, don't take it for granted. Babada said. One of your bodies is the golden horned beast, one of the pinnacle bloodlines in the universe. Another doppelganger was from the Masha clan, known as the strongest assassin clan. You've taken advantage of me. Why are you still disappointed? I didn't expect you to have such a freakish doppelganger. Haha, Luo Feng laughed. The golden horned beast, Masha clan, they were all extremely rare in the universe. Many Undying had never seen it before. For Luo Feng to be able to get these 2 bodies, he had a huge advantage. All right, let's continue practicing flying. Luo Feng smiled, becoming a beam of light and flying into the deep pit on the surface of Mars in the universe ship. After entering the ship, his consciousness connected to the Virtual Universe network. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island Slaughter Space. Appear! The little demon Babada waved his hand, and suddenly the space around him changed, and a large mechanical factory appeared. Inside the factory, there were all kinds of mechanical traps that had been prepared for a long time. At a glance, the entire factory looked like a beehive, densely packed with traps. If one were to fly around the factory, they would easily trigger the traps. This is the test for the first level of the 10,000 thread stream, the single thread stream. Babada pointed at the mechanical plant in front of him that looked like an inescapable net. If you can get your hands on all 3,189 red balls in the plant without being hit by the attacks of these mechanical devices, then you'll be considered to have reached the first line stream. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. Yes. Ever since he lost the battle with Rong Jun, Luo Feng realized that as a powerful spirit reader controller, he had to be very good at flying. A person's energy was limited. It wasn't very possible to be both a spirit reader and a fighter. Normally, they would focus on one. Naturally, they would spend their energy on this, and naturally, they would value flying. Battle. There were battle techniques. There were hypnotist battle techniques, like the soul imprint battle techniques. There were controller battle techniques. Actually, the Nan Shun armament's 9 levels were a type of training technique. Defense. There were defense techniques too, like the void pagoda of the soul and body defense. One could rely on weapons or armor. As for movement, a fighter's dodging and maneuvering techniques too. Spirit readers stepping on spirit weapons to fly too had their own techniques. Even to the point, even beast taming, body stealing, enslaving, cloning, etc., there were all sorts of mysterious techniques. There are only so many so-called origin laws, but origin laws were equivalent to cultural knowledge. By understanding the same cultural knowledge, some people would be able to achieve success and fame, while others would fade into obscurity. One theory, this technique, was to unleash the origin law's power to the fullest. The Nanshin armament could unleash the origin law's battle power. Soul imprint was also possible. Void pagoda was also possible. Absolute space was also possible. 10,000 threads was also possible. Back when he was defeated by Rong Jun, Luo Feng first followed Babata's suggestion, choosing the level 5 spirit weapon Dark Cloud Shuttle. Then he chose the secret technique of the spirit reader flying technique, 10,000 thread flow. His teacher, the master of the Yun Mo planet, as a powerful spirit reader, knew quite a few flying techniques. However, Luo Feng's choice was different from his teacher's. Back then, the master of the Yun Mo planet, Hu Yin Bo, trained in the flying technique space control. In terms of technique power, there was no difference between the two. In terms of rarity, the space control flying technique was even rarer, and the 10,000 threads technique was more widespread. Many Undyings knew about it. However, being widespread didn't mean its power was weak. This 10,000 threads technique, for what Babata said, why do I feel like it's very similar to absolute space? Luo Feng asked Babata this back then. Babata replied, "It is very similar. Your absolute space's second level, infinite changes, is equivalent to the 10,000 threads highest level, and the 10,000 threads legends say that there's an even higher level of teleportation. However, no one knows the training method." Absolute space was divided into 3 levels. The first level was Arclight, the second level was Myriad Changes, and the third level was Teleportation. The 10,000 threads technique split. The first level, Thread, was comparable to the first level of Absolute Space, Arclight. The second level, 9 threads. The third level, 100 threads. The fourth level, 10,000 threads. At this point, it was comparable to the second level of Absolute Space, Infinite Changes. Legends say that there's still the highest level of teleportation. However, at least the techniques that were spread around didn't have the final training method. This was also the reason why Babata was so shocked when he found out that Absolute Space actually had a complete training method for teleportation. After all, the path of comprehending the origin laws was very difficult. With a clear path, it would save a lot of time and energy. A precious technique. Even if someone was willing to teach it, the most precious part was still infinitely precious. All right, what you said makes sense. This 10,000 thread technique and my absolute space technique walk the same path. Even though the training method is different, the path is the same. Comparing the two, I'll be able to train with twice the results with half the effort. This is it. Luo Feng chose this flying technique just like that. After 3 years, Luo Feng had long passed the 10,000 threads basic training. Stepping on the Dark Cloud Shuttle, flying was already perfect. However, he still didn't succeed in the first level, 1 thread. Cheat. A steel wire touched Luo Feng's back. Cheat. 3 nails shot out. One of them touched Luo Feng's calf. Fail. Babata shouted. From a sky full of weapons, Luo Feng became a peculiar image, immediately flying back to Babata's side, shaking his head. The 1 thread test is too difficult. If I used the Masha clansman, I would be able to easily dodge. Luo Feng smiled. 1. The virtual universe company provides the same body. 2. The Masha clansman is an energy life form, not a human. They have no way of participating in the genius battle. The little demon raised 2 fingers. I'll give you a suggestion. Return to reality now. Let the Masha clansman transform into the golden horned beast and train absolute space. Luo Feng nodded. Solar system, Mars surface. The black clothed Luo Feng within the red sandstorm that engulfed the land and skies, immediately transforming. His entire being was like the energy flow, becoming a 12 m long golden horned beast. His appearance was exactly the same as the real golden horned beast. This size could only be described as a golden horned beast infant. Within his body, the 10,081 black nuclei slightly revolved. On it, incomparably complex golden engravings faintly resonated with space. It's too beautiful, this feeling. The little golden horned beast's eyes were filled with excitement. It could clearly feel the ripples in space. It was so familiar, so beautiful, as though it had returned to its mother's embrace. Let's begin. Rumble. The little golden horned beast immediately followed Absolute Space's instructions and began to train. Its scaled wings, claws, and tail all had to be used, especially its long tail. It could easily make minute changes in direction. 2 golden horned beasts. 3, 4, 5. Little golden horned beasts appeared all around. In a short while, 9 little golden horned beasts appeared. This golden horned beast body structure is indeed the most suitable for absolute space training. This Masha clansman, when in human form, can only unleash 5 clones. And when in the golden horned beast form, it can unleash 9. The little golden horned beast was completely immersed in absolute space training. This technique was created by an ancestor of the golden horned beast. It was specially created and modified for the golden horned beast. Humans can't even train it, because it has no tail, no wings. How beautiful! Immersed in absolute space training, the little golden horned beast's understanding of the space origin laws was almost within reach. Time passed day by day. The golden horned beast trained and comprehended the gold origin laws, while the Masha clansman transformed into the little golden horned beast to train in absolute space. And Luo Feng's main body merged the training of the 2 great bodies into one, working hard on studying the Nan Shan armament, training hard on the 10,000 thread flying technique. Under such high-efficiency training, Luo Feng's strength seemed to rise every day. November, December, January. Finally, it was China year 2070, September, and the entire human race of the 1,008 universe countries had gathered over 1 million geniuses. The pinnacle battle was held in this month. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. Chapter 428. China year 2070, September 5th. Early in the morning, Luo Feng stood on his balcony, looking at the red sun that had just revealed half its face in the east. Even though it was summer, the morning was still rather cool. Early in the morning on the balcony, watching the sunrise, dressed in a nightgown, Su Xen walked up too. She looked at the current Luo Feng. This man before her, even though his reputation on Earth had reached the pinnacle, he still spent almost all of his energy on the path of a strong warrior. Regarding this, Su Xen wasn't dissatisfied at all. She knew what was important. Only occasionally she would feel a little sour within, because sometimes when Luo Feng went all out his training, he would go into closed-door training for 10 days to half a month. Of course, normally Luo Feng cared a lot about his family. Right? Luo Feng looked at the distant rising sun in the east, smiling and nodding. These few days you've been spending all your time on your training, it's almost like you haven't seen the sunrise in a long time. Su Xien said, sometimes you should relax a little, don't tire yourself out. Luo Feng looked at his wife, extending his hand and gently hugging her, saying softly, my wife, I'm sorry. We're already an old couple. Why are you so mushy? Su Xian's face flushed red. Hee. Luo Feng laughed. Tomorrow, the battle will begin. Luo Feng looked at the distant rising sun, exclaiming, That's 1 million geniuses from the many universe countries. According to the Ganwu universe country situation, of these 1 million geniuses, over half have stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. In the Battle Axe Coliseum, universe-level warriors that had stepped through the gateway of the origin laws were considered invincible. However, in truth, in the universe, there were many star levels that had stepped through the gateway. The entire human race, these absolute geniuses numbered in the hundreds of thousands. However, with 1,008 universe countries, on average, each country had a few hundred of them. The Ganwu universe country leader even ordered an undying to specially invite these absolute geniuses to the Ganwu secret area. One could only imagine how precious these seedlings were. These absolute geniuses, how could they be sent to the Battle Axe Coliseum to risk their lives? That way, the chances of them dying were too high. Black Dragon Mountain, Island 9, Star Bay District. Dad, do your best. Two extremely similar-looking youths looked at Luo Feng. Their gazes were filled with worship. This pair of twins were Luo Feng's sons, Ping Ping and Little Hai. In terms of age, they were already 11 years old. As they had been nurtured well since young, they were already at the Student 9 level when they were kids, and had already stepped into the Star Traveler level. This allowed their physical development to be comparable to that of an ordinary 14 or 15-year-old teenager on Earth. In terms of appearance, he had inherited Su Xian's good points and was very handsome. He wasn't as normal as Luo Feng. Among them, the elder brother, Luo Ping, had a better temper and a gentle personality. He had changed a lot since he was young. Luo Hai, on the other hand, was very noisy. However, because they grew up in such a family, their tutors were Di Fan and Bai Kaluo. These two Universe Level 9 warriors, Bai Kaluo, received Luo Feng's Yinimo planet training techniques and broke through to the Universe Level 9 last year. The guards and servants in the house were all star levels. Along with Luo Feng's glory, Luo Ping and Luo Hai worshipped their father since they were young. He was proud to have such a father growing up in such a family. Although Luo Ping and Luo Hai's personalities were slightly different, they had one thing in common. They wanted to become strong. What was special was that these two brothers loved to battle in virtual reality games since they were young. Even though they later awakened their spirit energy, their talent was weaker than Luo Feng's. However, the two of them chose to become fighters. This made their father, Luo Feng, feel helpless. Daddy is the strongest. Little Hai shouted loudly. Haha, Luo Feng couldn't help but laugh. 30, do your best. Thunder God, who was standing beside, waved his fist and shouted. You don't just represent the Ganwu universe country. More importantly, you represent the people of Earth. Well said. Luo Hongguan nodded and shouted, his face filled with joy. Little Feng, your second brother is right. You also represent the people of Earth. Even though there are trillions of life planets in the universe countries, with 1,008 universe countries added together, it's even more shocking. However, you have to do your best to fight for the people of Earth. Luo Feng nodded. In their hearts, whether it was Thunder God, Hong, or Luo Feng, their sense of belonging to Earth was even stronger. I'll head out first. Luo Feng immediately took big steps and left. In the various continents and islands of the virtual universe, over 1 million absolute geniuses from the 1,008 universe countries were teleporting to the various gathering points of the universe countries, on a floating island in the air above the Ganwu continent. Shua, Luo Feng appeared on the teleportation point of the floating island. Mr. Luo Feng, please walk this way. Standing beside the teleportation point was a universe-level warrior dressed in work uniform, smiling as he pointed to a path beside him. Thank you. Luo Feng smiled and nodded, following the path and walking. After a while, Luo Feng saw that not too far away, in a plaza surrounded by beautiful flowers and grass, there was a large group of people gathered. With just a glance, there were a few hundred of them, both men and women, all of different looks. However, at least a third of them looked closer to the people of Earth, as the people of Earth were considered the mainstream in the universe. Luo Feng is here. That madman. Many young men and women looked over. These few hundred people had all obtained a spot. This time the Ganwu universe country was sending out 1,000 geniuses. Luo Feng. Hi, madman. Among these people, there were many who smiled and greeted Luo Feng, as he had participated in the losers' circle battles. Hence Luo Feng had fought one-on-one with over 200 of them. Windmill. Pate Luo. Luo Feng too greeted a few he was on good terms with. As time passed, more and more geniuses arrived, more and more people arrived. And Savage Rongjun was considered to have arrived a little later. Finally, all 1,000 geniuses had gathered. These 1,000 stood together. Many of them knew each other in real life or from battles, chatting and reminiscing. Luo Feng, your strength has risen quite a bit this year. I know you've improved a lot. The savage youth Rongjun gazed at Luo Feng. Luo Feng turned and glanced at the 3M tall savage. When the pinnacle duels begin, you'll know once you try. That confident? Savage's eyes gleamed. Suddenly rumble. A formless pressure enveloped the entire plaza. The 1,000 absolute geniuses all went pale, their bodies trembling uncontrollably. After which, following the footsteps, a giant dressed in a scale armor and helmet walked over. His natural aura was like that of a death god descending. Carrying with it a thick, bloodthirsty aura, it made one feel fear. A giant with a height of over 8 m. It was that being from before. The 1,000 geniuses of the Ganwu universe country. According to the country leader's orders, I'll be leading them. The giant's voice rumbled. Under the helmet, his eyes gave off an immense pressure. You all can call me Lord 13, understand? Understood. The 1,000 absolute geniuses all replied in unison, including Luo Feng. What a terrifying pressure. Luo Feng's forehead was drenched in cold sweat. In real life, his willpower pressure could definitely cause my soul to collapse in an instant. Fear. The 1,000 geniuses before this scale-armored giant were as weak as ants. Naturally, they would feel fear. This was pure instinct. No matter how strong one's willpower was, there was no way to suppress such instincts. Rongjun. The scale-armored giant's gaze landed on Savage Rongjun, Lord 13. Savage Rongjun bowed. You are the only one from our Ganwu universe country with a guarantee of not being eliminated. The country leader has high hopes for you. You don't disappoint him, understand? The scale-armored giant said. Yes. Savage replied respectfully. The scale-armored giant swept his gaze across the other youths, saying coldly, as for the others, they have no hope. Immediately, within the group of youths, many clenched their fists. Luo Feng within the group, too, creased his eyebrows. Oof. Don't be unconvinced. Strength isn't just words. It has to be displayed in battle. The scale-armored giant said coldly. Other than Rongjun, the strongest amongst you all is only at Luo Feng's level. However, according to our intelligence, there are many rare geniuses in this batch. Luo Feng being able to make it into the top 5,000 is already not bad. To make it into the top 1,000, the chances are very slim. Of course, you all can create miracles too. In history, there have been some who were average at the start, but in the end, they suddenly exploded in the pinnacle battles, absolute geniuses. The scale-armored giant swept his gaze across the large group, after which he changed the topic. All right, follow me and set off. This group of absolute geniuses from the various star fields of the Ganwu universe country could only bear with it. After which, Luo Feng and the 1,000 geniuses, under the lead of the scale-armored giant, simultaneously teleported to a brand new plane opened in the virtual universe. This was a vast continent. Luo Feng and the others, including the leader of the scale-armored giant. A total of 1,001 people simultaneously appeared on this continent. Ganwu Universe Country Team. There are 1,008 skyscrapers ahead. Your Universe Country Team has been arranged to stay in skyscraper 0825. A middle-aged man dressed in a white robe respectfully bowed towards the scale-armored giant. HM. The scale-armored giant snorted through his nose, after which he led the team and flew into the distance. Wah! 1,008 skyscrapers. a universe country team staying in one skyscraper. Looking from afar, the distant 1,008 skyscrapers naturally formed a ring, and in the center of the ring was a beautiful plaza filled with birdsong and fragrant flowers. In that beautiful plaza, there were many youths from various universe countries casually strolling and chatting. With a glance, there were at least 100,000 people. Land. The scale armored giant's voice rumbled. The Ganwu universe country's genius team swiftly landing at the edge of the plaza, following the path, and heading towards skyscraper 0825. The plaza had a special pathway to every single skyscraper. Look, that skyscraper 0825 belongs to the Ganwu universe country. Looks like it's a genius team from the Ganwu universe country. Rongjun. That tall savage is Rongjun Hichem. His strength is very strong. Which one is Rongjun? Rongjun. Many geniuses from the other universe countries looked at the Ganwu universe country team from afar and began to discuss. Author's note: the second chapter has arrived. Continue writing the third. Chapter 429. The entire Ganwu universe country genius team heard the distant discussions of the geniuses from the other universe countries. Many of them were filled with hatred within. To be able to make it into the top 1,000 of the Ganwu universe country, which of them weren't absolute geniuses, favored by the heavens? And right now, it was obvious that the geniuses from the other universe countries only cared about savage Rongjun and didn't care about the others. Madman, did you hear that? The other universe countries only know of our Ganwu universe country's Rongjun. The green-haired youth walked beside Luo Feng and said softly. This green-haired youth was the absolute genius Windmill who battled with Luo Feng during the elimination back in the same city. Windmill was luckier than Luo Feng. In the arena battles, he won 4 battles consecutively and earned his spot. Luo Feng was very calm. Following the team forward, he said softly, Windmill, don't blame the others. Rongjun is indeed strong. HM, the green-haired youth nodded. I know too. I've heard about it. This savage Rongjun's strength is enough to make it into the universe's top 10. And for us, to even make it into the universe's top 1,000 is very hard. Overall, top 1,000? Luo Feng squinted. At this time, the Ganwu universe country genius team had already followed the scale armored giant into skyscraper 0825. This skyscraper's first level was very wide, enough to hold up to 1,000 people. Rumble. That powerful pressure appeared once again, pressuring the 1,000 geniuses, causing Luo Feng and the others to turn and look at the largest scale armored giant. That scale armored giant retracted his pressure and said coldly, Here, there are numbers 1 to 1,000. You all take your number and enter your rooms. That is where you rest and live. Following which, the scale armored giant waved his hand. The number plates floated down and landed before each person. Savage Rongjun extended his hand and grabbed the number plate. There was only one number. 1. Luo Feng 2 extended his hand and grabbed the number plate. There was only one number. 2. The 1,000 geniuses all grabbed their number plates. You are free to disperse. You can sleep and rest in your rooms, or head to the plaza to interact with the geniuses from the other universe countries. The scale armored giant scanned the 1,000 geniuses, saying coldly, When the sky gets dark, the virtual universe company's organizer will gather all of you. No matter where you are in this space, you'll be able to hear the notification. After saying that, the scaled armored giant strode out. Only then did the 1,000 geniuses from the Ganwu universe country let out a sigh of relief. They split into groups of 3 to 5. Each holding their number tags, either chatting or finding their own rooms. The central square, surrounded by 1,008 buildings, was very large. Even if there were millions of people in the square, it would not be crowded at all. Moreover, flowers, plants, and some ornamental animals could be seen everywhere around the square. There were also large restaurants randomly scattered on the square. There were a total of 99 restaurants. However, the geniuses from the universe countries could enter any of the other restaurants except restaurant number 1. Boom! The scaled, armored giant turned into a stream of light and landed in front of restaurant number 1. "My lord," the waiter at the entrance of the restaurant bowed respectfully. The scale-armored giant directly walked in. There were more than 1,000 seats on the first floor of the restaurant, and there were already more than 100 great existences here. 13. 13 is here. Their auras were either filled with killing intent, or even more berserk than a star, or so cold that it could freeze one's soul. All sorts of auras that would cause one's heart to palpitate faintly emanated from them. These mighty existences were casually sitting there. It was almost as though they had formed their own world, and the surrounding space seemed to be under their control. "Ichem," the scaled, armored giant nodded, like a brave god general. He immediately sat down. 13. I heard your Ganwu universe country has produced a genius called Rongjun? Haha, your luck is not bad. It's all right. The scaled, armored giant wasn't humble at all. Te Luo Fu. Your universe country has produced a genius called Blood Axe, right? The white-robed man with a face full of smiles that made one feel as though they were facing a spring breeze smiled. Right, there is such a genius. His style is very similar to yours, 13. 13. This time your Ganwu universe country might have 2 geniuses make it into the top 1,000, right? Not far away, a tall and big bald man with golden skin shouted. The other one seems to be a punk called Luo Feng. His strength is still not enough. The scaled armor giant shook his head. Sai Fu La. Right now, everyone is saying that your Noah universe country will get number 1. That youth from Noah universe country is very strong. Just a star level, and his comprehension of the space origin laws has already reached such a level. It's simply unbelievable. A group of great beings discussed. These beings were all sent by the leaders of their respective universe countries. For such a pinnacle gathering of the universe countries, the Undyings they sent were all extremely powerful, even amongst the Undyings. Just like 13, he was one of the 18 god generals under the Ganwu universe country leader. His name was awe-inspiring, a being that had been famous for trillions of years. Skyscraper 0825, room number 2. This room was extremely spacious. For example, a bed was 10 m long and 6 m wide. Maybe some genius's body was huge, hence the room was prepared this way. Naturally, this room that was close to 1,000 square meters was still huge to Luo Feng. Let's go out and take a look. Let's see the absolute geniuses from the various universe countries. Luo Feng's eyes were filled with intense anticipation. He had no hope of making it into the top 1,000. That scaled armor giant's words were obviously based on his performance during the loser battles. However, from the end of the loser battles till now, the Masha clansman had been training hard in absolute space. His 3 bodies, the golden horned beast, the Masha clansman, and his earth body hadn't relaxed at all. Until now, his own strength had already risen at a shocking rate, even though he could already defeat Savage Rongjun in the slaughter space simulation. However, from that battle till now, it's already been over 4 years. I can improve so much, others can naturally improve too. These 4 years, how much has Savage Rongjun improved? Who knows? Luo Feng thought. What's more, when he fought me back then, he didn't even have the time to unleash his blade techniques. 1,008 universe countries. Geniuses are as common as the clouds. I'll try my best. Let's see how far Luo Feng can go. Luo Feng thought. After waiting patiently for over 4 years, this gathering of the absolute geniuses from the 1,008 universe countries was the time for him to reveal his true strength. Luo Feng walked out of his room and left the skyscraper with the other geniuses from the Ganwu universe country, heading toward the plaza. The plaza was even bigger than a city on Earth. However, these absolute geniuses were all star level 9. With a glance, they could see 100 kilometers away. When the group of geniuses from the Ganwu universe country entered the plaza. Look, Rongjun, it's Rongjun. I heard he has the power to make it into the top 10. He's a very strong punk. His comprehension of the Earth and space origin laws are very high. Let's hope we don't meet him. Many of the youths from the other universe countries were discussing. This made the other geniuses from the Ganwu universe country who were with Savage Rongjun feel uncomfortable. Naturally, they dispersed after reaching the plaza. Luo Feng and the green-haired youth Windmill walked together. Luo Feng, look. The green-haired youth pointed at an absolute beauty in the distance dressed in a white feather robe. That lady was almost like a legendary angel from Earth. On her back were two wings, and there was a crystal in between her eyebrows. She's called AI Chun from the Dream Shell race. She has the power to make it into the top 10. Her nickname is Lightblade. She's extremely terrifying. Luo Feng looked at the seemingly untainted Dream Shell race lady. Lightblade AI Chun. Luo Feng swept his gaze across the plaza. Before this, he had naturally gathered information. Even though he couldn't gather any detailed information, he knew of the most famous people. It's him. Luo Feng looked at the distant black-robed skinny man that was about 2-3 tall. He heard people discussing beside him. That's the hypnotist Jia Lai Shi. He's from the Howling God clan, from the Pungu Universe Country Genius Battle. It said that he didn't even make a move from start to finish, just looking at his opponents once, and they all fell into illusions and died. He's an extremely terrifying hypnotist. He can definitely make it into the top 10. Walking in the plaza, he discovered many absolute geniuses from their universe countries that were known as the top geniuses. Even though they were the top in their respective universe countries, within the 1008 universe countries, there were only about 20 that could make it into the top 10. After all, strength was strength. One still had to rely on one's state of mind, etc. And since they hadn't fought before, there was no way to confirm. However, Luo Feng had seen the recordings of the top 20 before. Conclusion: none of them were weaker than Rong Jun. Two of them were even more terrifying than Rong Jun. Manka Prince. Luo Feng looked at the silver-clothed youth in the distance. His eyes were filled with fervor and fighting spirit. He was also recognized as an absolute genius that could make it into the top 10. It's been a very, very long time since the young generation on Manka Planet hasn't had such an outstanding genius. One genius after another made Luo Feng's fighting spirit burn. Powerful. This was the gathering of the absolute geniuses from the 1008 universe countries. Just from the surface alone, there were about 20 that could match up to Rong Jun. What's more, there might even be some who were hiding their strength. Just like Savage Rong Jun back when he battled Luo Feng, he didn't want to reveal his space origin laws. If he didn't reveal it in that battle, who would know that Rong Jun had such strength? One theory: 1008 universe countries, over 1 million geniuses. There were definitely more than 20 absolute geniuses in the open and in the dark. Just like Luo Feng, he too had the strength to make it into the top 10. Yet no one knew that he was an absolute genius hidden in the dark. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Silence. The entire plaza went silent. Hundreds of thousands of geniuses from the universe countries all turned to look in one direction. Luo Feng, too, turned to look, only to see a white-clothed youth walking out from a distant skyscraper. He was handsome yet expressionless. His entire being was like an ice mountain, carrying a blood-red long blade on his back. Walking towards the plaza, his cold gaze swept across the hundreds of thousands of absolute geniuses. However, there was no ripple. Death God Bolin. It's him, the undisputed #1 in the overall rankings. Finally, all sorts of discussions resounded throughout the plaza. At the same time, the black-robed Howling God youth, that absolutely beautiful Dream Shell clan lady, that Manka Prince dressed in battle armor, that savage who seemed like even the heavens couldn't crush him, the huge blood-red axe on his back, that fat man at least 6 tall squinted his eyes, the green-haired youth with the peculiar green engravings on his face. Everywhere in the plaza, the absolute warriors at the forefront of the million geniuses all stared at the white-clothed youth with the blood-red long blade on his back. Amongst these warriors, of course, included Luo Feng. Death God. Luo Feng stared at the distant silhouette, muttering, Death God Bolin. 3 chapters completed. He discovered that his monthly votes had been left behind. It's the end of the month. I invite all my brothers who support Tomato to check if you have any monthly votes. If you do, please support Tomato. The more monthly votes, the more motivation Tomato has. Click on the recommendation of the author below, and you'll know if you have any monthly votes. Tomato was looking forward to everyone's support. Come, smash the votes. Chapter 430. Death God Prin was the most unbelievable absolute genius from the 1008 universe countries in this year's Genius Battle. Even in the previous Genius Battles, it had been a very, very long time since such a monster had appeared. From the information I've gathered, this Death God Bailon has produced hundreds of images before. This is unbelievable. Luo Feng looked at the distant white-clothed youth with a blood-red long blade on his back. He was very clear within. He was far from being a match for this Death God Bailon, who had long since been recognized as the number one. According to the level of the 10,000 thread flow. The third level, 100 thread. The fourth level, 10,000 thread, was already the highest level of the 10,000 thread technique. The legendary teleportation was, after all, just a legend. And this Bailan's display of power was obviously close to the fourth level. He was already so powerful at the star level. Just look at the top 10 absolute geniuses from the previous Genius Battles. Almost all of them were stronger than Savage Rongjun. However, they weren't as powerful as this. Death God Bailon, he was simply too powerful. Even a Sector Lord being, even the hardest space origin laws to comprehend, to reach the fourth level of the 10,000 thread was 1 in a million. Sector Lords were 1 in a million. One could imagine that a mere star-level punk was already so terrifying. No wonder even before the Genius Battles began, many undying beings had already confirmed that this white-clothed youth was without a doubt the number one of the Genius Battles. How did he train? Just how did he train? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. I've relied on the Masha clansmen to train, and I've only broken through to the 1-thread level. I'm still a long way from the 9-thread level. After all, the space origin laws, those are the two most difficult laws to comprehend along with the time origin laws. Big brother. A beautiful young lady with long flowing green hair, naturally curled, with green engravings on her face, said softly, "He's the Death God Bailon? The one teacher thinks we have no chance of defeating him?" Beside, a similarly green-haired youth with engravings on his face nodded, staring hard at the distant white-clothed youth. That's him, a star level. Yet he's comprehended the space origin laws to such a high level. A monster. Even in the past million years, the number one of the Genius Battles hasn't been this powerful. However, Qinshui, the young man lowered his head to look at the girl beside him. Although we're not Death God Prin's opponent, but the overall second and third place, us siblings must get it. Qinshui understands. The young girl nodded. This pair of brother and sister were the peerless geniuses from the mysterious Augustus planet who were equally famous in this year's Genius Battle. In the vast universe, some planets were very mysterious or extremely famous. For example, Mega Planet, Augustus Planet, Matriarch Planet. These planets all possessed unparalleled strength that made people's hearts tremble. He could easily send out a group of undyings. Such a planet could definitely be called the core of a universe country. The Manka planet was one of the two cores of the Savage Universe country. In the central square, hundreds of thousands of geniuses couldn't help but look at the white-clothed young man. This caused the white-clothed young man to frown slightly, and he directly entered a restaurant. Phew, he is Death God Prin. I really don't know how he cultivated. No matter how powerful his bloodline is, it shouldn't be so abnormal. I suspect that he is not human at all. The sounds of discussion could be heard everywhere in the square. In the central square, where hundreds of thousands of geniuses were gathered within restaurant number 1. As time passed, the leaders of the 1008 universe countries' genius teams, the Great Undyings, all came to this restaurant number 1. Be it on the first or second floor, they were all casually chatting. This youth called Bolin, he's only a star level, yet his comprehension of the space origin laws is so strong. Who knows, in 100 eras, he might even become a space knight. Space knight? That's too much. Becoming a space knight is still far away. How many Undyings have trained for trillions of years and still can't become a space knight? He's still far from it. How can a space knight be so easy to become? Difficult, difficult, difficult. Even his body can teleport through space, and he's still far from it, much less become a space knight. The flattery is too much. Our 1008 universe countries. It's been so long since a new knight has appeared. Even though that youth is a rarely seen figure in the past genius battles. However, a genius is a genius. If you say he can become a powerful, undying comparable to us, I agree. However, to become a space knight, it's simply too, almost as though the space knight. These four words struck a chord in the large group of powerful undyings, all of them objecting. Haha, what are you all discussing? It's so lively. A loud voice resounded throughout the first and second floor of restaurant number 1. Immediately, the undyings on the first floor all turned to look, only to see at the entrance of the restaurant a green-robed man dressed very normally, his features handsome, his head covered in purple scales, his eyes filled with a smile. He stood there, almost as though he didn't exist, almost as though he wasn't in the same space and time as the other undyings. Rumble. The hundreds of undyings on the first floor all stood up, including the scale-armored Giant 13, all bowing in respect. Knight. The hundreds of undyings bowed. This time, my virtual universe company has organized the genius battles. All of you universe countries have given your support. I represent the virtual universe company to express our gratitude. The green-robed, purple-scaled man smiled. This is what we should be doing. From first to second floor, undyings' voices resounded. The green-robed, purple-scaled man smiled and nodded. You all continue chatting. In a while I'll gather those youths. Finishing, the green-robed, purple-scaled man turned and left. Once he left, the hundreds of undyings on the first floor, as well as the undyings that walked down from the second floor, began to discuss. It's actually the Nine-Blade Knight. I heard he's recently been in a universe secret region within the automaton territory. I didn't expect him to host this genius battle. Speaking of which, hundreds of thousands of years ago, the Nine-Blade Knight was still a star level. He too participated in the genius battle. At that time, he was the number 1 of that batch. The knight brought shock and awe to all the universe countries back then. He wasn't any weaker than this youth called Bolin. So what if he's talented? Just the path to undying is filled with obstacles. Large numbers of sector lords have fallen at the final door. That Bolin, to even reach undying, he has to go through many trials and tribulations, much less the Space Knight, which is millions of times harder. These undyings were all sighing. All of them had extremely high authority in their respective universe countries. They were all top-notch figures under the command of the universe country leaders. Some planets and stars they could destroy with a flip of their hands. However, if one could become a knight, they would already have the power to occupy a huge star field and build a universe country. With a wave of the Space Knight's hand, the stars would shift and space would change. The so-called planets were like marbles before them. Evening. Luo Feng, who was drinking in one of the restaurants in the plaza, suddenly a voice invaded his consciousness. All participants from the 1008 universe countries gather in the plaza. Luo Feng subconsciously stood up. Not just him, all the geniuses in the restaurant stood up. The 100,8000 geniuses, whether they flew in from the sky, or from the skyscrapers, or from the edges of the plaza, they all gathered. Over 1 million geniuses all did the same. In just a moment, the 100,8000 geniuses formed a large team and stood in the plaza. After which, the million geniuses all woke up. What's going on? Luo Feng was shocked awake. What's going on? Why am I here? I was still in my room earlier. The entire team of over 1 million geniuses were all shocked. Even the death god Bolin had a look of shock on his face. And at this time, in front of the formation stood 1008 undyings. These undyings naturally emitted their pressure, the pressure of over 1,000 powerful undyings. Instantly caused the entire formation of over 1 million people to quieten down. Not a single one dared to make a sound. Welcome to our virtual universe company's pinnacle genius battle. A warm voice resounded in everyone's ears. Everyone looked over in shock. Suddenly, a man with purple scales on his head and wearing a green battle robe appeared in the empty space in front of him. He had a smile on his face. However, standing in mid-air, he seemed like an ancient god-king. That natural aura he emitted made the millions of youths involuntarily submit to him. Also, even though they could see the green-robed man in the distance with their naked eyes, it made the geniuses feel almost as though this great being was in a different space from them. That disordered space and time feeling made them feel very uncomfortable. 1,008 universe countries. Every universe country selecting 1,000, a total of over 1,000,000 geniuses. The green-robed man stood in mid-air, gazing down at the millions of geniuses, his voice warm. Our virtual universe company will choose the strongest 1,000 amongst you and absorb them into our virtual universe company's core. The million of you will fight for these 1,000 spots. The rules are as follows. Tomorrow, all of you will enter a training space. Our virtual universe company has prepared over 1,000,000 training spaces for you, one for each person. Within the training space, there are a total of 7 towers. Every training tower has 7 floors. You will start from the first tower. After you've passed all 7 levels of the first tower, then the second tower, all the way until you die and are kicked out of the training space. According to your results in the training space, you will be awarded points. First to 100th in points, there's no need for further selection. You will be directly absorbed into our virtual universe company as a core member, obtaining 100 spots. 101st to 7,300th, these 7,200 will fight in the arena to fight for the 900 spots. As for those below 7,300th, they will all be eliminated. The green robe man's words caused the millions of geniuses below to be stunned. This time there were a total of 100,800 people, meaning just one training space would eliminate over 1,000,000 people. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. Chapter 431. That mysterious being representing the virtual universe company left after a simple announcement. Even though Luo Feng and the others were suspicious, they could only return to Skyscraper 0825 to rest. Dawn of the second day. Everyone, please prepare yourselves. We will begin the mass teleportation soon, sending all participants to their respective training spaces. A clear and melodious voice resounded throughout the entire space. All the geniuses within the 1,008 skyscrapers had long woken up, awaiting the start of the elimination. First elimination, then the final battles. However, in terms of cruelty, obviously the elimination training was more shocking. Good luck. Work hard. In Skyscraper 0825's first level hall, many of the geniuses from the Ganwu universe country wished each other well. It was too cruel. The first wave had already eliminated over 1,000,000 people. Out of the 1,000 geniuses present, the number still remaining probably didn't exceed 2 hands. Madman, good luck. Windmill, good luck. Luo Feng and the green-haired youth Windmill encouraged each other. Suddenly, rumble. A formless peculiar energy descended upon the entire space, causing all the 100,800 geniuses to be instantly teleported away. As for the undyings within the space and the restaurant staff, etc., they weren't affected at all. This was a huge rectangular meteorite with a length of nearly 100 kilometers, suspended in the starry sky of the universe. Shua! Luo Feng appeared on the meteorite. Looking around, in the distance there were tiny stars, and not too far away from him were normal planets without life. He couldn't help but exclaim, "The virtual universe has constructed over 1,000,000 training spaces. Just one of them can be so realistic." On this meteorite floating in the universe, there were 7 training towers. Every tower was like a huge mountain, with a height of over 10 kilometers and a perimeter of a few kilometers. The 7 trial towers occupied different locations on the giant meteorite. Luo Feng lowered his head to look at his wrist. On it was a screen, just like the Ganwu Universe country's elimination. Participant: Luo Feng, Ganwu Universe country, points, 0 rank, none training space, number 027938. Within the training space, there were a total of 7 towers. Every tower had a total of 7 levels. The first tower, every level could only give a maximum of 10,000 points. Completing all 7 levels would give a maximum of 70,000 points. The second tower, every level could give a maximum of 100,000 points. Completing all 7 levels would give a maximum of 700,000 points. In the fourth trial tower, each floor could give a maximum of 10 million points. Completing all 7 levels would earn a maximum of 70 million points. In the seventh trial tower, each floor could give a maximum of 10 billion points. If he succeeded in all 7 levels, he would get a maximum of 7 billion points. Note, once you die, the trial ends. There were 2 ways to clear each floor. The first was to kill all the targets on this floor and obtain the highest points, which would then teleport you to the next floor. 2. If you're unable to kill all of your targets, you will be teleported to the next floor if you're still alive after 10 days. When all the participants were dead, the trial ended to determine the final ranking. Below is the ranking list. How crazy! Luo Feng looked at the screen and couldn't help but to shake his head. All dead. The trial ends. What does it mean? It means that it is impossible for anyone to pass through all 7 training towers. Clearly, the Tower of Trials was very difficult. The Virtual Universe Company had the confidence to kill all the participants. It's quite similar to the Ganwu Universe country's elimination. However, this time, it was only in a single world, and it was a world that was separated from the Ganwu Universe country. And this time, it's a gathering of all the pinnacle geniuses from the 1008 universe countries. The strong are as numerous as the clouds. If you rank below 7,300, you'll be immediately eliminated. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows as he pondered. Very obviously, the first tower should be easier. The further one goes, the harder it gets. This says that there are 2 ways to pass each level. One is to kill all the targets and teleport. The second is to persevere for 10 days. When that happens, it'll automatically teleport. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Doesn't that mean I can stay at most 10 days in each level? A training tower has 7 floors. Then, I can stay at most 70 days in each tower. Luo Feng couldn't help but reveal a look of glee. That's great. This way, the 5 towers will have a year's worth of time. What did he lack the most right now? Time. The golden horned beast broke through to the universe level. Only then did its talent explode. Only then did it begin to comprehend its domain and begin to study the gold origin laws. And the Masha clansman, it was just born in October last year. It hasn't even been a year since it started training. If he had another year, he would definitely be stronger. Right? I'll do it that way. Luo Feng made his decision. I won't rush forward at the start. I'll let the Masha clansmen in reality train hard and let my strength constantly rise. The higher my strength is, then I'll definitely walk further in the training space when that time comes. Maybe my initial ranking will be very low. However, there's no rush. The most important thing is the final ranking. I'll shock the world with a single feat, Luo Feng laughed. Rumble. Luo Feng became a beam of light and flew to the first tower. That 10 kilometers tall tower had a sign on the entrance pillar. It was the first tower. Luo Feng's spirit weapon and armor were all prepared, and he entered the first tower. The moment he entered, the words on Luo Feng's screen changed. First tower, first level. 10,000 ferocious beasts, hairy blood mammoths. Every time you kill a ferocious beast, you'll get 1 point. Killing all of them will give you 10,000 points, and you'll be teleported to the second level. If you don't kill them all and survive for 10 days, you'll be teleported to the second level. If you die, the training will end. At the edge of the screen, there was a timer counting down. Obviously, the moment the 10 days were up, he would be teleported. Just as I thought. Luo Feng smiled. Then let's begin. In reality, Solar System Mars. A 10 long golden-horned beast raised its head and let out an excited howl, after which it immediately transformed into many golden-horned beast images and continued to study the absolute space technique. As the darling of space, the Masha clansman studying the technique was a form of enjoyment. This feeling was simply too wonderful. Virtual universe. In the center plaza, there were 1,008 undyings casually sitting around. The training space eliminations weren't broadcasted to the entire universe. Only the ranking changes were announced to the public, and only the final arena battles would be broadcasted to the public. However, the undyings from the various universe countries had the authority to view every participant's training situation. This Bolin, he's indeed vicious, rushing to number 1 the moment he arrived. So fast. This Bolin's points rise is shocking. He's far ahead of number 2. 13. Your Ganwi Universe country's Rongjun isn't bad either. He's currently at number 12. The 1,008 powerful undyings could easily see the rankings and watch the training situation. Right now, they represented their respective universe countries. Naturally, they all hoped for their own universe country geniuses to shine brightly. Only then would they have face. For these existences that had lived for eternity, face and dignity were very important. Not bad. The scale-armored giant nodded, sitting in the wide chair, looking at the screen before him. Rongjun. He immediately opened Rongjun's current training stream. The savage young man was barefooted. His footsteps were strange and shockingly fast. He held a saber in his hand and wantonly cut a three-eyed lion-like monster that had wings and fur all over its body. The fierce beast Fei Wu. The scale-armored giant's face revealed a rare smile. He creased his eyebrows, his killing intent leaking out. This Luo Feng. He actually didn't notice Luo Feng's name at the top of the rankings. For what he felt, this Luo Feng could at least make it to the top 10,000. After which he opened his Ganwu Universe country name list. With a glance, he saw Luo Feng's name. Luo Feng, Ganwu Universe country. Rank 1006891. This made the scale-armored giant's eyes reveal his killing intent. This little idiot, what is he doing? The scale-armored giant opened Luo Feng's stream. With one look, he creased his eyebrows. He's not working hard at all. This punk, he's using the training space as a training ground? Not bad. It wasn't just the golden-horned beast and Masha clansmen that were training. Even Luo Feng's main body was constantly absorbing the two's comprehension, infusing it into his own battles, constantly improving and strengthening himself. First building, first level, second level. They all stayed for the full 10 days, all waiting until the end of the countdown before going to kill the last target. And obviously amongst the 1 million geniuses, it wasn't just Luo Feng who did this. There were many geniuses who wanted to use the earlier stages to gain some time and strengthen themselves. Hence, this resulted in Luo Feng not being last. However, it wasn't too far off. He was at the bottom of the 1,000th. 60 days later. Rumble. Luo Feng entered the 7th level of the first tower. The 6th level before actually had the Space Beast song. Luo Feng thought back to the previous level and couldn't help but exclaim. Simultaneously, he looked down at the screen on his wrist. First level, 7th level. Bug Clan Mother, nest destroying the Bug Clan Mother nest to obtain 10,000 points, directly teleporting to the first level of the second tower. Bug Clan Mother nest. In reality, the weakest Bug Clan Mother nest is comparable to a Sector Lord, with many even comparable to an Undying. The Bug Clan Mother nests in this tower have their strength reduced by a certain amount to match the training participants. Suggestion: destroy the Bug Clan Mother nest as soon as possible. The later it is, the more and stronger bugs it will produce. Rumble. This 7th level space immediately changed, becoming a vast desert. In the center of the green patch, there was a huge round ball with a diameter of about 60 m. There were some bumps on it. At the same time, it naturally emitted some poison gas. Even the body itself was flowing with poison. Bug Clan Mother Nest? Luo Feng stared. Earth. Shenongjia. Luo Feng thought of one of the 3 great forbidden areas of Earth. That terrifying, mysterious ball in Shenongjia. Even Babata forbade him from touching that thing. Chapter 432. So that's the bug clan mother nest? Luo Feng was filled with fear within. Yes, fear. The bug clan was one of the pinnacle races in the universe that could compare to humanity. It was a very peculiar race. The bug clan's population could be said to be terrifyingly high, or even pitifully low. A bug clan mother nest could produce trillions of bug soldiers. They relied on the human, bug, sea tactic to dominate the universe. However, on the other hand, the killing bug soldiers had extremely low intelligence, almost to the point of having no intelligence at all, only instinct. Countless bug soldiers, they would definitely obey the mother nest's orders. If the mother nest sent them to their deaths, not a single one of them would resist. Hence, within the bug clan, only the mother nest had the right to be considered a life form with true intelligence. Using the mother nest as a unit, the bug clan's population was pitifully low, and every mother nest was at least sector lord level, the strongest, undying level. One mother nest, producing countless bug soldiers, was enough to take over a galaxy, even a vast star field. The mother nest is on Earth. Luo Feng felt a chill within. Babata, this bastard. Reality, solar system, Mars. The small golden-horned beast suddenly became a stream of energy, swiftly becoming the black-clothed Luo Feng. Babata, what's going on? Luo Feng roared. The golden-horned beast was currently Universe Level 8. It could maintain its consciousness in both reality and virtual universe. What's more, the natural talent clone made it so that even if Luo Feng's main body focused on something, he would still need to focus his consciousness. And the clone would still maintain a basic level of consciousness. What? Babata said, unhappily. You're still asking? Let me ask you, what's that mysterious ball in Shinongjia? The black-clothed Luo Feng roared angrily. Luo Feng, I've already told you, don't rush. When it's time for you to know, I'll let you know. Babata said, that thing isn't something you can mess with now. That's the bug clan mother nest. Luo Feng roared. The moment it awakens, it will be able to continuously produce large amounts of bug soldiers. When that time comes, countless bug soldiers will swiftly take over the entire Milky Way galaxy, and even spread throughout the entire Black Dragon Mountain star field. This is a calamity, a calamity. The moment it awakens, Earth will be finished. Such a huge risk, you actually hid it from me. Luo Feng was indeed furious. Oh my god, the Zerg race's mother nest was on Earth. This was like knowing that there was an atomic bomb under the bed when one was sleeping, and it could explode at any time. You know? Babata was shocked. Humph. Luo Feng suppressed his anger. Speak, what do we do now? The insectoid race was a terrifying existence that stood at the pinnacle of the universe alongside the human race. The existence of any mother nest was a calamity-level existence. Hence, in the virtual universe network, information regarding the bug clan mother nest had always been restricted. It definitely wasn't easily released to the public. However, regarding the terror of the bug clan, Luo Feng had long known about it. The golden horned beasts inherited memories. Back then, the fusion took 16 days. The memories were too vast. Luo Feng only organized them a bit and didn't look at them all. As for the bug clan mother nest, Luo Feng had only seen the basics back then. There was no picture of the Zerg mother nest in the introduction. The basic introduction was, the core of the Zerg race is the mother nest. The mother nest is a nest built by the queen mother. The queen's body is weak. She has powerful spirit energy, however her body is weak. Hence she builds a strong mother nest. The mother nest is like her armor. The queen can nurture countless Zerg soldiers. The nest she builds, according to her will, has different shapes and sizes. Back then, when Luo Feng was organizing his inherited memories, he had only briefly looked at the basic introduction. At this time, he was shocked to discover there was a bug clan mother nest on Earth. Hence, he was shocked to carefully look at it. The basic introduction of the bug clan mother nest was only a few words. However, the detailed introduction had tens of millions of words and large amounts of pictures. It described in detail the terrifying aspects of a mother nest, the types of Zerg soldiers it nurtures, etc. There were even large amounts of pictures. This made Luo Feng very quickly confirm. The one on Earth was indeed the Bug Clan mother nest. Don't be angry, don't be anxious. What are you worried about? Don't tell me I'll harm your Earth. Babata said. I know you won't, but I want to know, what's up with this Bug Clan mother nest? Luo Feng communicated mentally. If you don't explain it clearly, I won't be able to rest easy. Who could rest easy? A thing that could destroy Earth, or even the entire Milky Way galaxy at any time. Who could rest easy? All right, Babata said helplessly. Let me tell you, this Bug Clan mother nest was acquired by your teacher back in the alien battlefield. Teacher? Luo Feng asked. Let me ask you, within this mother nest, is there a queen? The mother nest was just a nest, while the Zerg Queen was a true life form. Because the Zerg Queen was very weak, any expert could easily destroy her body. Moreover, the cost of building a nest was very high, so it was almost impossible for the Zerg Queen to abandon her nest and build a new one. There is, and it's not dead yet, Babata said. Luo Feng's expression changed. However, don't worry, it doesn't pose any threat to Earth now. Babata explained, don't worry, you can think of it as sleeping, and it's an eternal slumber. As for the details, once you've trained Soul Imprint to your teacher's level, you'll understand. There won't be any problems, right? Luo Feng felt that it was a ticking time bomb. There won't be any problems, unless an undying with a soul level even higher than your teacher comes. Babata smiled. That kind of great being, if he wants to destroy Earth, he can do it with a flip of his hand. He wouldn't go through so much trouble to bring that mother nest back to life. Only then did Luo Feng relax, after which he was curious. What is teacher trying to do with this mother nest and not kill it? The Bug Clan mother nest potential is huge. If you can enslave this mother nest like how you enslave humans and then nurture it well, then your teacher will have a very terrifying power. Just that endless Bug Clan army would be enough to save your teacher's life during that time of death. Babata exclaimed. Luo Feng nodded. The Bug Clan mother nest could nurture tens of millions of bug soldiers. The moment one truly controlled a mother nest, that would be very powerful. Against an endless sea of bugs, even an undying would have a headache. If they weren't so powerful, the Bug Clan wouldn't be one of the pinnacle races. Teacher's ambition is huge. Luo Feng couldn't help but say. Babata said helplessly, but the life form of the mother nest is very strange. It is said to be a pure life form, but its soul is divided into every single insectoid warrior. It can control all the thoughts of the insectoid warriors. Your teacher's slave soul imprint is unable to control it. Before we think of a way, we can only let it sleep forever. Hence, we threw it on Earth. Luo Feng said. We can't just throw it on Unimo planet, right? Babata said. Luo Feng was speechless. The genius battle's elimination continued. Over 1 million training spaces, the killing continued. The powerful Bug Clan mother nest, it's been reduced to such a low level. Luo Feng's golden blade immediately sliced open the mother nest. From within flew out a 6 m tall, her entire body white, like crystal, like a queen. The queen had beautiful, transparent butterfly wings. Her face was shrouded in mist. It had an extraordinary charm. Strange, beautiful music resounded, entering everyone's ears. Indeed, the Bug Clan queen that specializes in spirit reading. Even her charm is so powerful. At the same time, Qi, a sharp spirit energy, pierced straight into Luo Feng's consciousness. Rumble. The void pagoda stood tall and unmoving. The spirit energy attack immediately dissipated. Days passed. That beautiful Bug Clan queen thought of many ways to attack Luo Feng. However, with her weak body, she could only rely on spirit attacks. However, against Luo Feng, who had an incomparably strong consciousness, strong willpower, and training in the Void Pagoda, it was like an ant trying to shake a tree. It couldn't affect him at all. Actually, to be able to kill all the bug soldiers, the queen usually didn't have much of a resistance. The queen's strength was in nurturing an endless amount of different bug soldiers. Countdown 10 days. Luo Feng lowered his head to look at the screen on his wrist. There were still a few minutes until the 10 days were up. he stepped on the dark cloud shuttle, becoming an arc and flying towards the Bug Clan queen that had been hiding in the distance, not daring to mess with Luo Feng. That seemingly weak and pitiful-looking Bug Clan queen looked at Luo Feng with a pair of sad blue eyes. Chi! The golden blade pierced through its head. It's still charming. Luo Feng pondered. The first-level Bug Clan mother nest isn't strong. It can barely deal with normal star level 9 warriors. After killing all the opponents in the 7th level of the first tower, he was transported to the 2nd tower. What shocked Luo Feng was the opponents in the 2nd tower were exactly the same as the first. The only difference was their strengths had risen greatly. The same ferocious beast, hairy blood mammoth. The 2nd tower is so much stronger than the first. Then the 3rd and 4th, how terrifying would they be? There's still the 5th, 6th, and 7th after that. No wonder the Virtual Universe Company has the confidence to kill everyone here. Luo Feng was shocked. This training was very difficult. The 7 towers had the same targets and numbers, only the strength was different. The first level was filled with ferocious beasts, hairy blood mammoths, a total of 10,000 of them. The 2nd level was filled with demon 9-headed pythons, a total of 10,000 of them. The difference between demon and ferocious beasts was their intellect was extremely high. Just like the monsters on Earth, they were in truth classified as demon beasts. The 3rd level was filled with metallic life, formed Tall Luo clan warriors, a total of 1,000 of them. The 4th level was filled with universe peculiar life, formed Tuowu, a total of 1,000 of them, belonging to a special type of ferocious beast. The 5th level was filled with automaton puppets, a total of 100 of them. The 6th level was filled with the space beast song, a total of 10 of them. The 7th level was filled with the Bug Clan mother nest, a total of 1. The 7 towers were all arranged like this. However, it was obvious the targets in the 7 towers were constantly rising in power. P.S. Chapter 1 has arrived. Chapter 433. The Genius Battle caused huge waves in every universe country, attracting countless people's attention. And right now, the pinnacle battle between the geniuses from the 1008 universe countries. It naturally caused countless people to anxiously look forward to it. However, right now, the training elimination wasn't broadcasted to the public. Only the rankings were broadcasted. Rong Jun is too cool. Look, on the Virtual Universe Company's official website, they've released yet another promotional video of Savage Rong Jun on a street in the Ganwu continent of the Virtual Universe. A young couple was pointing at the screen. The girl said excitedly. The boy beside her laughed. The rankings are constantly changing. However, for those that make it into the top 1,000, the Virtual Universe Company will produce a promotional video for them. However, this time, only Rong Jun from our Ganwu Universe country has this honor. Didn't we have Luo Feng before? You didn't see the rankings, he's already at the bottom. The boy shook his head. Many big figures. Didn't they say Madman Luo Feng was very strong? Why is his ranking so low? The girl asked curiously. No idea. The boy shook his head and sighed. It's quite disappointing. I worshipped him before. I always felt he was more vicious than Savage Rong Jun. However, now, the entire Ganwu Universe country is over 100 million galaxies. Countless people were discussing the Genius Battle rankings, many of them expressing their disappointment with Luo Feng. Because before, the Ganwu Universe country had already formed a consensus that amongst their own universe country geniuses, Rong Jun was number 1, Luo Feng was number 2. The main focus this time was on these two. However now, Rong Jun was intrepid. Luo Feng, he was at the bottom. The other 10,000 star fields of the Ganwu Universe country, if their feelings towards Luo Feng were still considered warm, then the Black Dragon Mountain starfield had gone mad. Madman, you've really gone mad. How can you be so weak? It shouldn't be this weak. What a disappointment. Madman, the madman I love, the madman I worship. Where is he? How can you be last? I don't ask you to rush to the front. You have to rush to the top 10,000. Madman, madman, you disappoint me too much. In the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, countless people who were proud of Luo Feng were incomparably excited. There were even some that were angry and scolding Luo Feng, hating him for not living up to expectations. The rankings are constantly changing. It'll only be revealed at the end. Luo Feng might even show off later. Previously in the first world, he also showed his strength in the later stages. Everyone has to believe in lunatics. We will always support the lunatics. The other was extreme anger due to love. The other was to firmly support and still believe in Luo Feng. However, Luo Feng, who represented the Black Dragon Mountain Empire on the pinnacle stage of the 1008 universe countries to battle, was indeed a cause for concern for countless people in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Virtual universe, within the plaza surrounded by 1008 skyscrapers. 1008 great undyings were all sitting together, looking at the floating screens around them, laughing and chatting. There really are many geniuses hiding their strength during the universe country selection. Surprise! A group of powerful undyings were commenting on some of the geniuses with shocking performances. Because the top 100 of this trial would directly obtain a spot, many true experts who had been hiding their strength erupted, each of them using their full strength, causing these undyings to be shocked. This young ape-man is really nimble. He's very used to fighting one against many. Yes. Beside, the scale armored giant's voice rumbled. The training space is after all just a training space. It's not a 1v1 duel. And arranged within, there are metal life forms, automaton puppets. These are all immune to soul attacks. Those that specialize in soul attacks are at a disadvantage. 1v1, human duels. Compared to the training towers, the chosen ones would be slightly different. 13. What you say makes sense. Beside, the silver-robed, silver-haired man said, however, the true geniuses will still perform very well. And I feel that the training space's setup is very good, because in the future, their enemies will mainly be the other races of the universe. The scale armored giant nodded, looking at the rankings on the screen beside him. On it were the rankings of the Ganwu universe country's 1,000 geniuses. Rongjun is ranked 16, not bad. This Luo Feng, the scaled armored giant, was a bit angry. He really thinks of the trial space as a training ground. Every level requires him to last 10 days before moving on to the next level. This brat really doesn't care about the scolding outside at all. As he paid attention to Luo Feng, he could easily discover that Luo Feng was indeed using up the most time. Eliminated? The scale armored giant discovered that behind two more geniuses on the list, there was a red universe language. Eliminated. Another two dead. At this time, there were already hundreds of thousands of eliminated geniuses in the plaza. Shwa, 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 shwa. In just a few seconds, 10 silhouettes were simultaneously transported to the plaza. Windmill, you've been eliminated too? Brass, you were even earlier than me. The green-haired youth Windmill laughed as he teased. I never thought I'd be able to make it into the top 7,300. Beside, a handsome youth with slightly curly hair, dressed in a silver armor, shook his head. The moment I entered the training space, I used my fastest speed to kill level by level, hoping to raise my ranking. It was exactly as I thought. At the start, I killed quickly. My name rose quickly. The highest I got was over 100,000. However, after the third tower was too difficult, my speed slowed down by a lot. My ranking dropped rapidly. All of a sudden, I dropped below 300,000. Finally, I died in the third tower's 5th level, killed by the automaton golem sitting on my, but what a tragedy. Sitting on your but to death. Windmill laughed loudly. Which level did you get to? The handsome youth asked. Third tower's 7th level. Windmill couldn't help but curse. The Bug Clan mother nest was too strong. One bug soldier after another was being nurtured. It was much faster than the previous 2 towers, and its strength was even stronger. The speed I killed couldn't keep up with its nurturing speed. I watched as more and more bug soldiers appeared before I was buried alive. Huh? The handsome youth couldn't help but laugh. Oh right, I just checked the rankings. That madman from our universe country, the one you're close with, why is his rank so low? Low? Windmill glanced around. Do you see? Right now, there are already hundreds of thousands of geniuses that have been eliminated. As long as this madman is still in the training space, his name will rise. Just watch. I know this punk the best. The last time in the Ganwu Universe country's first world elimination, this punk didn't even show his face for the first 10 days, after which he went on a killing spree. I think it'll be the same this time. So, sinister? The handsome youth stared. This is called steady. His feet are on the ground. Windmill ridiculed. Unlike you, who charged forward and was eliminated after reaching the 5th floor of the 3rd tower. 7 training towers. 100, 8000 geniuses. They passed the 1st and 2nd towers. However, from the 3rd tower's 1st level onwards, large amounts of geniuses were eliminated. The 3rd tower had the most eliminated people. It was close to 90% of the total. Luo Feng, right? Just like that, a lower rank. The 9th Prince Buluo Lin was currently in his palace on the Black Dragon Mountain Island, comfortably lying in his chair, looking at the floating screen in front of him. On the screen was a discussion forum. Buluo Lin was looking at the large amount of people scolding Luo Feng for being disappointing. Awesome, awesome. Brolin was all smiles. Luo Feng, even though I don't want to mess with you, I don't want you to be too strong either. Right now, this ranking is just right. It suits you the best. Brolin could comfortably continue living the life of a prince. After all, the royal family's backing was the founding emperor, an undying being. Luo Feng couldn't possibly find trouble with him. However, Newell Shan was different. Right now, Luo Feng could easily ask for help to deal with Newell Shan. Hence, when Luo Feng made a name for himself in the genius battle, the extremely cautious Newell Shan had long ago been scared out of his family's headquarters, arriving in another distant Kalmastar field, a normal life planet with a harsher environment, living in seclusion. Good, good. After finishing his training, Newell Shan flew back to his simple villa, his pair of cold eyes looking at the constantly changing rankings on the living room screen connected to the quantum computer. He couldn't help but laugh coldly. Forcing me to leave my family. This time you little punk should really take a tumble. Last place? Awesome. No matter how chaotic the outside world was, cursing, questioning, and cheering, Luo Feng was still as stable as MT Tai. Every level took a full 10 days, slowly advancing level by level. 2nd tower's 7 levels, all passed. 3rd tower's 7 levels, all passed. 4th tower's 7 levels. Maybe before the Masha clansman was born, Luo Feng wouldn't have been able to pass. However now, he still took one step at a time, steadily passing through the 7 levels. Virtual universe in the plaza. To the undying with eternal life, staying here for a year was a very casual thing, and such a gathering wasn't something they could just leave their posts. The 1008 undying were discussing. 13. Your universe country's Luo Feng's rank has risen again. Look at this broadcast. This punk hasn't been rushing or slow at all, and every level doesn't seem to be taxing at all. Look, he's made it into the top 500. The scale armored giant sat in a huge chair, looking at the screen before him. The ranking on the screen was very peculiar. The Ganwu Universe country's #1 genius was Rong Jun. His current rank was 13. However, Rong Jun had already died in battle and was kicked out of the training space. This Rong Jun has long made it to the 5th tower. When he died, this Luo Feng was still slowly making his way through the 1st level of the 4th tower. The scale armored giant didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He still clearly remembered the joke he made a while ago. Back then he said, Luo Feng is low profile and slow. Just watch. Towards the end, he'll rise to about 3,000 to 5,000. The scale armored giant said to the other undying back then. However, later on, Luo Feng's name steadily rose, and now it had already made it to the top 500. 5th tower. Luo Feng has entered the 5th tower. 1 SD level, success. Rank 128. 3 RD level, success. Rank 42. As time passed, the scale armored giant creased his eyebrows. Under the helmet his eyes were filled with death energy as he stared at the screen, saying softly, This Luo Feng, he really hides his strength really deeply. However, I like these surprises. His eyes were filled with a sense of glee. P.S. 2 chapters completed. Tomorrow is Saturday, hence hee hee.